Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Banks. Tuesday.
Hey.
I'm feeling it today, man. I got that hooday in me right now.
Yeah, man, me too.
I know it's great to finally reconnect too, man. Because I've known this dude for such a long time, and it's funny because like when we brought him up that we're going to be interviewing Frostee Rucker from the Bengals, people are like, "How do you know him?" I'm like, "It's got to be like 20 years ago that we were hanging out in Tropicana. Actually, down here at the levee, bro. You know what I mean?
Don't share our age.
Don't tell him. There he is, everybody.
Yeah.
Frost in the building.
Hey.
The brightest smile in the game, dude. Let's go.
Duffel bag boy.
Duffel bag. I like that. I like that a lot.
Back like 20 years ago too.
All right. And before we get started too, man, I was holding off on handing off the drinks because we've got a new sponsor, River Green Cocktails. It's a 100% women-owned company. They're out of Louisville. And when they heard that Frostee was coming on, they ran down here and dropped off a bunch of cocktails for us.
It's awesome.
And
about to try.
Absolutely. Which one do you want to try, man? Actually, you've already even had these, right?
Yeah. I don't want to say this, but I went to the liquor store and they had a saleswoman in there, and she approached me like, "Hey, would you like to try something like?" And told me all about the brand, and I love brands, and told them I gave her my card. They still haven't called me, so call me. But those are the things I like to invest in, things like that.
For sure.
People with purpose, brands that are solid.
And have a meaning behind it, for sure. Yeah,
somewhat local, right?
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, I'm super stoked to have something from Kentucky here. You know, we're right on the water, but we're still in the Kentucky phase. So, which one you want, man? Which one should we try
Let me go
first?
with the Greyhound. I'm messing up your blanket over here.
The Greyhound. All right.
Let me give you some props on your store.
Hey,
this
I'll take it.
Is next level.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
I mean, I've been all around the country. I've been in other countries, and this right here is something special. And how you represent the 859 and 513.
I appreciate that, bro. Absolutely, man. That means a lot too, because you know, when we were building this place out, we didn't have a blueprint. Where they were just like, the levee was like, "What do you guys want to do?" And we were like, "We want black walls, black ceiling, black lights. We want a stage in the front." Like, and they asked me like just give us a wish list of everything you want. And I'm like, I want robot mannequins with TVs on their heads that say hi to you when you walk in the store. And they were like, "Bro, we can't do any of this.
Yeah,
like we'll build you a store, right? But we got to pump the brakes on the wish list." And so
this is so creative.
Yeah, we just went in with, you know, it was just shooting from the hip, man, like Yosemite Sam. You know,
try to treat it like an experience from the time you walk in the door to the time when you're checking out. The whole thing is just one gigantic mini experiences throughout the course of the time. So that's really what we wanted.
Thanks, man.
Was that experience. And thank you, sir. Interesting. Greyhound for River Green Cocktails.
Big Greyhound guy. Cheers, fellas.
Yeah, cheers for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like
Cheers to
saying,
River Green
to
too.
add on to what you're saying, ever since I walked in, customer service is on point. Everything's clean, neat. You know, the experience is everywhere. Everywhere I go, I'm like, "What's that? Whoa, how'd you twisted that? Whoa."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I dig that. So
Appreciate that.
I love
And
the space stuff. You know, I like being next level, out of this world. So this
yeah,
is
you know that back wall actually used to light up like Blink did. You know how like Blink has all those changing lights? I had a whole system that I built back there, but the computer fried, and so I've got to figure out like a whole new, like instead of Adobe, I've got to learn a new program now to get it to happen.
Getting the room to learn that, because
I'm here,
make
bro.
That wall pop.
Yeah. Oh, it's incredible, bro. When it was lit up, it's insane.
Some tech guys.
We'll make it happen for sure.
Yeah. There's tech guys out there. It's learning the new systems that are out of the older technology's moving. New technology comes in very quickly in that industry. So like learning new stuff is just kind of part of the game. And we'll do that. We'll do it though. We'll figure it out. We'll get that wall together. But I'm ready to try this. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well,
there it is.
That's good. That's tasty.
So this Greyhound is gin, grapefruit, and sparkling water, and it, to me, bro, like you can't taste the gin at all in it. How you feeling? What do you think?
I can, but
you can, yeah.
But
gin is such
it's tasty.
I can taste the gin.
Yeah, it's such a clean.
That's good.
Such a clean taste with that sparkling water instead of it being something else. I'm here for it, bro. This is delicious. Yeah. River Green Cocktails, thank you. You can actually find these down at Party Source too, right across the way.
It's kind of a kick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
Well, that's that grapefruit kick.
grapefruit
for sure.
kick. Yeah.
But I was told that this is the first one that we should try. Allison, if you're watching, love you, appreciate you. These are amazing. She told us to put them in glass over ice.
Well, we didn't do
she's
that.
like,
we didn't follow directions. That's
No, I
what
didn't
people
follow
do.
directions, but this is still delicious, just as it is, man. Let's go. Cheers to you.
Yeah.
Cheers to you, man.
Cheers, guys.
All right, man. Let's get into it, bro. So, should we start with the college days? Should we start with the good old Bengals? Like how should we start with such a legendary guest today?
I think we should kind of talk about where you see because I think you mentioned USC is a big part of your life still.
Absolutely.
So I think we should just kind of go back there and like where you're seeing the modern day college game going with NIL and everything that's happening. Like, what's your take on being the previous generation or generations even before that, where the idea of NIL was I mean, not only foreign but illegal in that system, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? So we watched Reggie Bush go through it, and he's getting his now finally. And like that's the thing is, you grew up in like a totally different culture entirely to the point now, like Nick Saban step away. He's like, the world we're going to. He's like it's just the scale is not tilting the same as it once did, but that is part of evolving in society. So what's your take on the NIL system and how things have adapted and changed, and how you see USC changing too? You know what I mean? Caleb Williams and everything like that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I love NIL just because the game had to get to that point, right?
Yeah.
We've been arguing and fighting with the NCAA for as long as you can remember, and all their rules and everything they'll take away from you just for getting an extra steak, cutting in line, or whatever it may be. But I actually serve on the NIL executive board at USC. It's called House of Victory. So shout out to all the folks in House of Victory. We raise the money to support our athletes. And I think the game, and that what I'm talking is collegiate sports here, it's in a good spot. I think letting these kids get their due. They work for it.
Yeah.
The school's been
It's like-
benefiting from it.
It's like a magic trick.
Yeah,
Just boom.
the schools have been. The blanket.
Yeah.
The schools have been benefiting. All the institutions have been benefiting from the athletes' back, all their sweat. And yes, they do get scholarships. Yes, they get a meal plan here and there. But I still couldn't pay for my cell phone bill without my mom helping me. Right when I was in college,
Yeah.
there's these things these hurdles that you just couldn't get through, and it's like, why do I have to live like this when you're selling jerseys in here, and I have no part of that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I can't get an extra meal because it's illegal
Right.
to eat
Yes.
or have some assistance. So being on this side of it, you have to be open to it. You mentioned Coach Saban, and he's right. When you coach that long and to get to the point now where the whole system has changed on you, and you have to compete in different areas. And at that age, I get why he just walked away from it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Me too.
He's won his titles. He's done his thing.
Yeah.
It's time for the next person to go.
Yeah.
And that's what happens in everything. Everyone here has a time clock, right?
Yeah.
Something's going to happen, right?
Something's gonna happen,
Something's
yeah.
going to happen. So it was just a matter of time till they cracked the code. And, I won't say kudos to the NCAA for finally figuring it out, but kudos to all the people that have been fighting for it.
Right.
And fighting for the athletes' lives and livelihoods, because now they have a head start on financial literacy, right? Things that you didn't have before. You have to wait till you get drafted to get some bucks, and then you don't know what to do, and it's that much money. But now, like with USC, we help them with financial literacy. We help their parents also. And that's a
Okay.
major thing,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
your
yeah.
parents have to know too. So
Yes.
being on that side of it it helped me realize that I can still be a part of it. I'm still around the team, and I'm really benefiting them. I can see the joy when they say thank you for all your efforts. Thank you for fundraising. Thank you for doing this, because I'm able to, my mom and dad can go to every single game now, right?
Right.
Things like that. It was like an extra benefit if someone took care of your parents to get them there, and it's a tough thing being on the road that young, battling school, you're away from your parents and stuff like that. And as you're maturing and growing, and now that you always have your support system around you, just like us as adults, we all need support. And now these kids will always look in the stands and see their parents.
Right.
And for that, I'm grateful.
Yeah. I'm starting to see a pattern too, man. I'm sure you were thinking about it when he was talking about like Travion and how he helps people with their credit and stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm starting to see a pattern
literacy.
where it seems like, you know, especially being at such a young age and getting a check like that, and it's more money than you've ever seen in your entire life, right? And it's like, you know, but you only have, you know, 6 to 10 years of playing before, you know, you hopefully retire and then don't have to work again, right? Correct. So, you know, and seeing people like you and Travion that, you know, have been through the dance and have seen probably so many of your friends that have just blown their checks on stuff that, you know, because they think it's endless. You know what I mean?
It's financial literacy at its core.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, once you get drafted, now you have to sit there and pick through a range of different financial advisors that you do not know, and they're all saying the same stuff, like, hey, I can help you do this, hey, I can help you do that.
Yeah.
And if you don't know,
it's overwhelming.
You pick one and you just hope for the best, that they're honest and they're not going to get over on you, and somehow they can keep you in check with your spending. And, you know, a lot of people just need to understand how to help. How do you help your parents if you get this money? Mm-hmm. And it's just me being a voice to be able to tell current players in my role that they reach out and like, hey, I'm going through this stuff. They'll DM me, hey, I'm going through this. Well, here's what I did to navigate it. You know, I picked a certain amount, and that was just the monthly.
Right.
It couldn't have been a big check, but here's a little extra that I can help every month just so you can get your groceries, you got your gas money, or you're paying 2 bills out of it. And if that's all I can help with, that's all I can help with.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when you end up in the NFL or in the NBA or whatnot, and you can be on a minimum deal, it's still more than the common folk out there.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you got to add, you're in the highest tax bracket. So then you're thinking you're getting all this money, which is a lot to a lot of different people, but not in that world. And then it's taxed so heavily. So what do you really get? Then, you know, you come up with the keeping up with the Joneses and quote unquote, and, you know, you need the Benz, you need this stuff, you need a chain.
Yeah.
You know, you need your bros with you, right? All this stuff.
You need the bottles at the club.
That adds up, you know, because they're not just giving you the bottles.
Right.
You know?
We were talking about that earlier.
It may be a BOGO deal. You buy one, you might get one.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, no, dude.
I'm a big BOGO guy.
That was key to selling bottles of liquor back in like the early 2000s in Cincinnati, like, you know what I mean? And that was one of those things. So I'm just going to throw a wrench in the convo real quick. We were at Tropicana a long time ago. I was down there with Lauren Zavitz.
Yeah.
And she tried introducing you and I, and like I didn't formally know you. You didn't formally know me, but you just gave her this look like, come on, girl, like, and she's like, how do you know Jay? And he's like, you said something like, man, I do this. Like, I'm here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I do. Of course, I know the people around me.
Yeah, I'm really big on relationships.
Yeah, and I can tell, man. It's always been super humble. You know, every time we've talked, it's always just it sounds like, you know, just friends talking from 20 years ago, man. And same thing with Terrace Horton. We're bringing him on. He'll be on the podcast on the 25th.
Yeah,
What's that, Country Boy.
Country Boy. Yeah,
DJ
T-Roy. Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, dude, he's one of my best friends, man. He was in my wedding.
Oh, he's awesome.
He is, dude. He is. Awesome. So him and his wife are going to be on the podcast on the 25th.
Awesome. Yeah. He spreads a lot of good knowledge out there. He's a very educated person and
funny as a motherfucker too, bro. Yeah.
You go political and then straight to a rap video, and you don't know what you're going to get, but I love it.
And he's shameless.
He's creative like that.
Oh yeah.
And he's his own person. So shout out to Country Boy.
Yeah, T-Roy the B-Roy, man.
T-Roy.
Yeah. So I'll talk about it later. Let's get back to the USC stuff for sure.
Yeah.
There's other stuff that just popped in my head.
There's so many things. Yeah, we can talk about anything. At the end of the day, there's so many different connections. I think that you know, involve everything, whether it's the college or whether the city. So like, there's so many routes we could take. But the reason I did want to talk about the USC and the NIL is what's your take on like how like the women's game, the college women's game has really evolved with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and all these other athletes that are really getting that shine finally that a lot of us feel they deserved way before this. It takes you know, change. You know, the NCAA is changing, things are changing. They're I mean, I don't really know if it's as far as we'd all like it to be, but it's getting close. You know what I mean? It took them a long time to read the room, I guess you could say.
It's
but
media, because there's been ballers. Let's be real.
No, yeah.
There's been ballers, and you know,
For sure.
I'm really keen with USC and, you know, Cheryl Miller and all the girls
Yeah.
that have been hooping forever, the Olympics and Lisa Leslie dunking and all that stuff. It's been there, but the media has to back it. And
100%.
I will say kudos to all the major media outlets that are pushing it and pumping it, because these girls now, you see across the board, they're on commercials and they're getting their due. And, you have to give the pioneers for going in there, grinding it out and being the first to get in that league and start it. And, with everyone talking smack, because, you can get on social media and see memes,
Right.
Yeah.
And they talk about layups and, this and that and the other. But I've listened to the greats of basketball and men and women, and it's about fundamentals. And it's always been about fundamentals in sports. And when you watch the women's game, you're getting the core of fundamentals. How to, your picks and rolls and your dribbling and, their, jump stops. And, they do the fundamentals.
For sure.
And, bringing up the next round of ladies that come up into the sport, it's a great thing because the education level's there. Now it's on, not just a meme. Now it's on ESPN, on Sports Center Top 10, right? Our number one clip, right? And that's the due that they're deserving, and the ladies are putting the work in, and it's just great to see it.
Yeah, for sure. I feel the same way, man, because, when Lisa Leslie was in the league, when it first started, you would see the highlights. You would see, like the clips of all the games. And then once that dies, it's like, for me, like, I don't know where to watch the games, right? I've got a Fire Stick, so I don't have like normal cable that can, you know what I mean? So if it's almost out of sight, out of mind. If I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see 10 videos of Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, this was one of those things where it's like you gotta keep it in their face, and especially at this day and age,
it is being put in our face,
and it's working.
It's working.
Yeah.
It's not only working, I think it's inspiring people to
100%
to be a little bit more conscientious of things that otherwise they wouldn't be, even, like you said, out of sight, out of mind. The perfect way to put it, because like if it's not in our social media faces, because like let's be real, like whether you use Facebook daily or Instagram or TikTok or whatever medium, there is a place for everything, because you're scrolling at a quick rate, and if every 4 or 5 videos are sports and every 2 of those videos are women's sports, that's a good majority of what you're seeing on your phone. So us as a society is in a transition period, and the NCAA is a huge part of that, which is wild to think about, that society transitions with college sports. It's transcendent with women's sports and NIL. So now people are like, oh, these guys are actually getting their due. They're getting their money for the jersey on NCAA football, or any basketball, any game in college wise. Like they're getting their money and the roses, because social media is giving the roses too. So they're kind of getting at 2 different angles where Reggie Bush era, those eras prior, they were like, I was like, X up. That's not happening. Right. You shouldn't be asking for that much. We can't even give you a meal. Exactly. We can't give you a meal. If we find out someone's slipping you a candy bar, you know what? That person might be finding themselves on the outside looking in. So that's just that fear base that they kind of put in, which is, I don't know, it's something about it that rubs me wrong. But I'm here for. I know life isn't fair, but we can, as a society, we shouldn't be trying to push everybody down. We should be trying to uplift daily, because the world is already hard enough. Just with the weather change, and just anything in Mother Earth herself doing damage on her own. Where you're at in the world, it doesn't matter. Tornadoes, hurricanes. It's already hard enough for the wildlife, not to mention us taking it out on each other as humans. So, like, I really believe in the growth that we're seeing, and the people that are doing it. Shout out to them that are in the trenches, actually filing the paperwork and finally doing the research and getting the statistics. So those people are not getting enough credit. You're not seeing those on SportsCenter. They're in the background. You know what I mean? These committees and these councils that are doing all the work. Shout out to them. You know what I mean? So I know that's a big part of the game.
Yeah, shout out to lobbyists. I'll just say that.
Yeah, shout out to lobbyists.
Efforts that are pushing the needle on everything, pushing everything down the field is what I like to say. So shout out to them, because they are the ones that stick their necks out there and get bashed because everyone has something to say on social media.
Yeah.
Everyone has a comment to say because everyone feels that they are media when they have a phone.
No, like you only get so much content. If you want to see what you want to see, everyone's listening. At the end of the day, all the world's a stage. I like that moniker, Shakespeare, but all the world's a stage. No matter where you're at and what you're doing, someone's viewing it, and that person could tweet out, and it could happen to go viral. You could just happen to be part of something. You may not even know you go viral. You might be that guy in that tweet, and they don't know a name, they don't know anything, but you might be viral without realizing it, right?
That's
so
the
like
Beauty and the Beast,
exactly, it comes with the territory. So with the age that we're in, that also gives the limelight a little brighter. You know what I mean? And there was a time when you had to be written up in an article, you had to be covered. Like the Stephen A. Smith had to talk about you, or someone had to talk about you on all these platforms. And now it's like,
You're your own creator.
No, you got Barstool Sports can post you real quick, and all of a sudden you're there, and they're independent of anybody else. They're not a Disney-owned company. They're not ESPN, nothing like that. So like they're in a space of their own. So the freelance aspect of it is, I think, really good for the underdog. And I think that,
I feel that.
Yeah, for sure. And I got that vibe too. The underdog, it's a fight every single day. There's only so many top dogs.
Exactly.
There's only so many, So it's interesting to think the changes that we're seeing real time. We're seeing like literally 2024, like right now.
The sheriff's here.
Yeah, he's awesome. Vance is awesome.
There's a snake in my bed.
Hey, yeah. But I like the transition to the pro. Like, what was your biggest obstacle to overcome as you transitioned from college when you entered the pros? Like when in 06 came and you were in that time, like just like
getting that check, going to
like,
Tropicana and doing 2-for-1s.
Right. What was the first thing, like when you stepped out, when you stepped in the car, you're like, all right, or stepped anywhere, like I can buy whatever. Like, what was your thought? Because you said that you're here for financial education, and we talked about Trayvon Williams. He helps young people with credit and whatever. He understands the struggle.
People with bad credit.
Bad credit, fix it. Yeah. So like, you understand the struggle of What was your first thought?
I was excited.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep it real. I was very excited to be in that position. Getting drafted was a huge accomplishment.
A dream.
Something that,
of course,
it was a dream.
Yeah,
and keep it real. I didn't know where Cincinnati was when I got drafted.
Everyone's saying that.
I just don't know. And I for one, I was like, well, when I thought about it, I was like, everyone can come watch me play because it's probably cheap to fly there. And it's Delta's main hub, and it's so expensive. I was like, well, now they're not coming. But it was an experience of its own, getting a check and being able to buy groceries and do things like that I'd never been able to do, really. I was taking food from the food hall in college, like an extra chicken finger here and there.
Oh, yeah.
The bottle of ketchup for the house.
The hot sauce packets.
I still do that at Chipotle.
Exactly.
Right,
they got that one. The sauce.
The little Tabascos over there. And you got to look around. You got to take that smoky one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I literally carried over there and make them pour it on my burrito. Like, hey, can you add that?
Right.
Oh, dude, and mix it up for me. Go ahead,
yeah. But no, it's a good feeling. Was a little reckless at times talking about Tropicana. Shout out to Jeff Ruby and that. It was an awesome place, and being able to get a drink or buy someone a drink, right? Right. It's a huge thing. It's an accomplishment to be able to be successful in a way, but a lot of people don't make it out of that world of spend because usually their career ends quickly.
Right. Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, now I'm in debt, right? And it's hard to recover from that if you don't have support
for sure,
loved ones and things of that nature. And majority of kids that make it to the pros they're usually in single parent homes and don't have much, and that's why they're fighters and they make it that far.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Because they're so resilient because they have no other option, right? So you do like to have fun. You do like to make sure the people around you feel it too, and make sure they feel like they can order a steak and get a baked potato and
right.
split it, right? Or it ain't Texas Roadhouse, it's Jeff Ruby's. You
Yep.
know, so it's a good feeling, and you work for it, and that was the best thing, working each week in the NFL when you get paid per weekly. It was like I did my work and here's the check. I did my work and that was training you because, like the majority of us never had jobs before, right? You're in college. So it was a good feeling to understand that, seeing the paycheck, reading the paycheck. What does this tax mean? What does that tax mean? And then there's like 10 different ones. And you're like, what the heck? Where's all the money?
Yeah.
Right? So that's that learning situation happens too, but it's all growing, So, and long story short, it was great getting paid. But the best part is trying to keep it.
Yeah, well, I wasn't really,
That is the best part.
I mean, really, like the paying aspect. I was interested in how you navigated that with your speaking on financial literacy, but like I
didn't know that they got paid weekly. I mean, obviously, I should have assumed it, but I didn't know if it was just a lump sum at the beginning or the end.
Signing bonus is a lump sum, and they may break that over years or so. But your salary is broken down in those 17 or 18 weeks now with that bond.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how your salary is broken down. So you only get paid that time,
right?
And right when the season's over, it's like
got to save.
There you go.
Right.
But you're accustomed to being able to see those checks. So, I'll get it. I'll be on the team next year. You just keep swiping the card.
Yep.
And sometimes you don't get invited back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What do you do there?
What do you do?
Yeah. What do you do then? Who do you talk to? Where are you going? Where are you turning?
Yeah. You should have listened. Right?
You should have listened. Right. This is the time for that information you're supposed to be gathering. It's time for the actual. Every point of it is like a transition, because once you're done, that transition has got to be probably one of the hardest experiences of anybody, because like, you know what I mean, like if any career, any job, retiring, like both my parents actually are they got to retire, which is awesome, and they're going through a transition as well. They have a like, there's 4 of us, and my youngest brother, he just committed to University of Kentucky for diving.
Oh, great.
So he's on the diving team. He won state in Kentucky, and he's doing his thing on the diving team.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he started yesterday was his very first day, because like you have to, college, you have to be in classes to be a part of it. Yeah. And I'm learning all these things about what he's doing on the inner workings of a D1 athlete. It's intense for all.
And we're talking about diver.
Diver, yeah.
Right?
Like they're there at 6 a.m. They start at 6 a.m. and then he goes through and he uses classes and everything, and then, but the diving community is really tight. It's pretty amazing. So it's been a journey. I'm watching from the sidelines ish from here, I guess, from the store. You know what I mean? But
listening and being aware, and
knowing what's going on. But he's in it for sure. I mean, he definitely is in it. They're very dedicated to Landon now. My brother Landon Eisler, he's doing his thing, but it's just seeing how they give you a tutor. Like they prepare you, like the colleges are literally preparing you. So when all that help is gone, that's the big thing, because when you're used to getting that kind of assistance and you're in this, I don't want to call it
crutch stage.
Yeah. Like everything's soft landings, kind of. Even though he's support, yeah. And then all of a sudden, when that thing is cut and you're in the real world, and then after you hit the pros point, and after you're done with that, then the real is the world hits, because not only is everything you've been doing through college and pros is done. Where's your fulfillment maybe coming from? Identity. I'm sure there's identity crisis like happen in real time.
This is what I've been doing all my life. Yeah, and now I'm retired at 40.
Exactly, because football, like 3 years for a player is an okay situation. Like they don't last very long. Sometimes they don't even get like a part of. They get hurt the first play, and all of a sudden you're maybe damaged goods, and at that point it's like a whole different uphill battle.
Guy's cheating. This guy's cheating at cornhole, bro.
Is he?
He's in front of the board. He's making them, but he's cheating.
Yeah, he's like 2 feet up.
Leave him alone.
But yeah, so how was that for you? How was it getting when it was done, when to hang up the helmet and the cleats? What was the feeling? Now you seem really positive. Like the vibes are really nice, man. Like you've got the good vibes.
So I went 28 straight years of playing football. I started when I was 7 and I ended at 35. So a lot of people say don't put all your eggs in one basket, but when you're trying to be a professional athlete,
they all have to be in there,
in that basket.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
we
want that. I think as a consumer, we want all your eggs in that basket, if you will. Like, I think like us as a
we're entertainers.
On every day, like we have our eggs in many different baskets here at Native. We do different things. We're podcasting, we do different stuff. But like when it comes to the entertainment on TV and football, and it's an entertainment league, and they've been very open about that. We want all the eggs in the basket. We want to see the athletes doing amazing catches and doing the stuff that we're not going to do ourselves. That's not the thing.
Right.
That's why you're paid handsomely, and that's how it works. But like, I want all the eggs in the basket, because that's what people look forward to one day of the week. Yeah. They don't look forward to anything else.
Right.
They look forward to Sundays. Yeah. That's amazing.
And
all because of football.
Being on that opposite side of that, just to add on to what you're saying, when you're a football player and everyone's geared up just for that Sunday, the same way you work all the way through the week to get there, that sets the tone for the whole next week at work, right?
Yeah.
You're going pumped up Monday, can't nothing phase you.
Yeah.
You don't care
Oh, yeah.
who puts what on your desk. I don't care. The Bengals would, right? Like,
Right,
it doesn't
right,
even matter.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why we do it too, because we know the effect it has on the community. So that's why we give it our best shot. And again, it's the term, the beauty and the beast of it, is because you put all your eggs in one basket for that reason, but you end up on the opposite side right when it's over, because it's over. Greyhound got me. It's over. When it's over, it's over. And you better have support then. So that's why it's very critical of who you marry or who your partner is.
Yes.
Right? And who's around you. Because, for instance, playing football in the NFL, the doctor's at work, right? So you don't go to the doctor's office. They come to you, right?
Yeah.
So they're always there. You're sick? Here. You got to go here. We'll escort you there. But when you're out, you got to figure out your insurance, right? You got to figure out how to use it. You know,
Yeah.
never used it before, right?
Sure.
So all these things happen.
That's an interesting dynamic. Yeah.
What was beneficial for me is that I finished in 18, 19. I had a chance to finally go watch some games, old teams, and then 19 was COVID. So a lot of people, where you get in this depression and anxiety and you don't know what's going on, is because everyone's still going and you can't figure it out. You can't catch up.
Right.
So I had a chance, but everyone stopped. And so it was a level playing field for me to figure out what was my next move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so all these things did creep in, like, who am I, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to say your identity is just the shop. It's not.
Right.
You know, it's not. That's not your whole identity.
For sure.
But
kind of feel like it is. I'm stuck in here like a cage.
I hear you.
Yeah, which is probably the same feeling
It's
that
the
you
same
got.
thing.
Yeah.
It's like that was your identity. I am a football player.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that I know, it's football, the game.
Yeah.
I can't sugarcoat that. I can't say, I'm more than, I get it, but when you're a professional, you put the 10,000 hours in or more, that's what you know.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
And I kind of just was very, very fortunate that COVID happened and everything paused. And it gave me a chance to figure out what I wanted to do. So I dabbled. I was on the mic a little bit, doing different podcasts and stuff like this. Just, I don't know if it was staying relevant or it was just doing something, because what can we do?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So for me personally, I started training kids during COVID out in the park, social distance and stuff. But I knew, like, my son was stuck in a house.
Yeah.
He couldn't do anything. And he's a little kid and had all this energy. What's he going to do? All right, so we got to start going out to the park and throwing the ball, do drills and do stuff like this. And I end up building out my nonprofit and still running to this day.
Hey, all right.
Kids, right? Doing things like that, doing summer camps and stuff like that. Well, that's where it all came from. Sitting at the table, coming up with all these ideas, throwing them like, does this work? Cluster off of it. Does this work? Cluster off of it. Does this work? Cluster. I'm a cluster guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cluster all the way down, right? Until
Right.
it makes sense and like, I'm going to go forward with that. So being a cluster guy like I am, I figured out I'm also a servant. I also love to be one with the other and help when I can.
Yeah.
More likely I'm helping someone more than myself, and that's an issue that I have. That I'm like that, but it's a good one because God's on my side, and I think that's what's going to get me to the pearly gates. So I try to do more good than bad.
It keeps you happy too,
There
man.
we go.
Keeps you
can
happy
sleep
and
at
humble.
night. You
Yeah.
can sleep at night. And that's very important too, sleep.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, especially when when you've gone through it like you have, dude. You've got. I'm still curious on the turnover from the transition of the football player to Frost the businessman, right?
Yeah.
Like, did you have everything already like dialed in by the time like the season was over and you knew that like I gotta jump off this ship onto something else, like, or was it the keys were taken away and now you've got to jump off the ship? You know what I mean?
So
Like,
the one thing I was fortunate, I had a really solid agent, Jimmy Gold. Shout out to Jimmy Gold. He's a Cincinnati businessman, and I met him, and he pretty much started prepping me for life after football. So my first venture that I had started was Orange Leaf at the Banks.
oh
When the
yeah,
Banks first
absolutely,
opened.
bro.
And I didn't
I
fail.
I forgot that
learned.
you opened that, dude.
I
Yeah.
wanted to give jobs, right? I wanted
Hell
to hook
yeah.
it up, and it was, ice cold, frozen yogurt in the hot
That
summer.
was the early days of the banks too,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, but I learned a lot. I learned leases.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was
Ooh.
educating myself in exactly.
Yeah.
I was selling frozen yogurt in the winter, and no one's going to buy it,
Yeah.
but I had to keep the doors open because it was in the lease. Mm-hmm. So I still had to buy the product, I had to buy the milk, and it's going to spoil.
All of it. And I don't know how that lease is set up. It could be something like Cold Stone, but I heard it's like you got to buy X amount of sugar per month. You got to buy X amount of milk per month.
You're in a franchise.
Yeah,
right? And
a franchise.
And if you're going to keep everything open and running like it's supposed to be, you got to order like
This is
everyone's coming in here
expectation.
because it's going to go bad.
Mm-hmm.
So learning all that and navigating that, it was just a learning experience that I couldn't trade for anything. So I don't feel like I failed. A lot of businesses, when you start them, they don't work, right?
Right.
But they'll work if you just keep going through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to know when to get off that one and go somewhere else.
Right.
So it was, again, like Orange Leaf was open longer than it should have been. I kept deploying capital. I kept doing it just because I didn't want to fail.
Right.
But I had to sit back and it was like, this was a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lesson on leases, and now I'm able to tell someone else, hey, make sure you had a deferred lease. If it's this or that, ask for this in it.
Right.
And I would never have known if I didn't go through it, because someone would have told me, I probably wouldn't have been listening because it didn't affect me. Right?
Absolutely.
You got to go through it.
Your mind's already out at the goal line. You're
Yeah.
like, I already see the prize, bro.
There
Like,
you go.
yeah.
So I started that, and that gave me a little taste of business and understanding and raising capital and doing things of that nature. And went on to play for the Browns, and then I just kept venturing off and playing football, and then I ended up having my first cannabis investment in Arizona.
Yeah.
Let's
go.
That was cool at the beginning of it for like a year. And then, again, it's about who your partner is, who your teammates are in that field, and it didn't work out.
Oh, no.
But I don't ever take it as a fail. I learned.
Yeah.
Right? I learned what I don't want to do, especially in that industry. You got to learn the pitfalls of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're dealing with something that isn't technically federally legal.
Right.
You're dealing with cash, and you're dealing with this and that.
Was that Bill's thing that you
No,
were?
this was in Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was my first cannabis investment.
Okay.
So, So again, I learned, right? And
But that's worth the risk, bro, because that's something that is so new on the board. Like, if this was 1920 and you can throw money at Bud Light or Budweiser to say, hey, I know the it's over now. The prohibition's over,
Right.
And I think that you guys are going to do big. Like
Yeah,
if
so-
you can jump on that, like obviously, man, like the risk is worth the reward, and if you don't, if you miss out on it, it's a shot in the dark.
Yeah,
but,
and it's also about, for me, what I was getting into business for. It wasn't just to make money, because there was in the medical in Arizona. And when I did the Responsible Ohio here and started the legalization pitch for Ohio,
yeah,
I was behind that while I was currently playing in the NFL. And,
which is like taboo
there
for
you
sure.
go.
Yeah.
There you go. But I believed in it, and I believed in it medically. I believed in expungements. I believe in all these other things that everyone was like, oh, it's just get rich and this, that, and the other. It's like, no, it's a real industry. You can be on the forefront of it and help push this down the field and get it. Now, look, we got recreational coming any day now.
Any day.
And
Yeah.
there you go. And
Absolutely.
now Kentucky's going medical, right?
They should have gone, bro. They could grow some great cannabis here with the city, like in the state, with the way the rainfall is, the humidity, everything. Like,
Right.
the barrels for bourbon, like 80% of all barrels across the world are all made out of Kentucky because of the wood that we have here.
Right. Yeah.
It's just one of those things. And actually, speaking of it, man, like I've been against pot all my life. Like I've broken up with girlfriends over it.
Jeez,
Right? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where
I mean,
I was lied to, and when all this stuff happened with my eye, I went to go get eye surgery in Lexington, and they checked my eye pressure, and they were like, "Bro, like, we can't even do surgery today. Like, the pressure's so high in your eye."
Wow.
It was at 144. They needed it to be at 12, And I was like, I've got no headache.
It
He's
was like a PSI, like a tire? Or what?
literally exactly like a PSI. It was just there was too much pressure in my eye because when I got assaulted, like your eye's got a little drain on the bottom of it, and that ripped open when I got hit. And so when it healed, all that scar tissue just basically closed that drainage. So now it just builds pressure all the time.
Got it.
But I went to go get surgery. He's like, can't do it. You got to come back Monday. And he gave me a prescription for 3 pills, just Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then we'll come in Monday, and then we'll do the surgery. And it was $117 a pill. It was $352, I think. And I called him and I was like, "Can I get the generic prescription?" He's like, "That is a generic prescription." And I was like, "Bro, I'm not gonna pay $350 to get rid of a headache I don't have." And that was the only time that they told me. But the doctor said, "Look, if you can get marijuana safely, smoke it this weekend. Come in Monday. We'll see where your pressure's at." So with the $350 in pills, they were hoping it would be at a 12. I went and bought Jubal. You remember Jubal?
Oh,
Yeah,
how's
Jubes.
that guy? Is he all
And
right?
he's
Yeah,
good,
he's-
bro.
yeah,
He's
he's
good.
telling us
He's
that I-
dude.
he's
Jubel's
got
awesome.
he's got 2 kids. He's with Jamie.
Great,
He's in Louisville, bro.
I
Shout
love
out to
that
Jubal,
guy.
man.
Shout out
Hey,
Jubes,
man, there's
he-
the name. There's a throwback
Yeah.
Thursday for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
That's
Throwback
that's
Thursday.
he's still one of the best friends on the block, man. He was one of the guys in the wedding as well.
Yeah, man. He just made me smile, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about,
yeah,
dude.
I love that,
Oh,
yeah.
Jubes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jubes is around every once in a while. He's in Louisville a lot, so he's doing his thing.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got 2 kids though,
Yeah.
man,
Good
and
for him.
he's a family dad now, bro.
That's what it's all about.
But you know, where was I at? I just totally threw myself off of that Jubal.
PSI.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, man, it was
He
the
told you
pot
to
thing.
smoke
Yeah.
pot,
So you know, Jubal hooked it up, and me and my mom smoked pot that weekend, and I went in on Monday, and my pressure was at an 8. They were hoping it'd be at a 14 with the $350 in pills.
Right.
And so from that point on, I was like, okay, I guess it really does work.
Yeah,
You know what I
and it
mean?
does.
And it really does.
I've seen a lot of athletes. You hear all the stories of opiates and, you know, all these things that these guys go through. And that's another reason I wanted to be on the forefront of helping that, right? And it just means too much to know that there's other options out there of medication. There's other options out there of aid. And if you can't be an assistance of it, you're almost like being a part of it. And I always want to be on the right side of it. All right, you guys are getting it in. over
Bees
here,
knees time.
I mean, I have a.
We got to get
all.
all 3 of these in before the podcast is
Jesus
over.
Christ, I got to drive, guys. I didn't Uber here.
All right, we'll only do 2 of them.
I want the bee's knees for sure.
All right, here we go.
Bee's knees for sure. That's.
Shout
Are
out,
you-
since I'm on camera, I'm only drinking these 2. And if you see me drink another one, I'm not really drinking it. It's water.
It is water. Let's go.
Fair enough.
Are you Kentucky or Ohio?
I'm Kentucky. I'm 8'5'9".
Go.
You
Let's
know?
go.
Let's go. It's easy living over
We were
here.
talking earlier, and you asked me like about how, you know, what side of the river do you stay on, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I've always stayed on the Kentucky side. And I guess when I got here, it was you fly from Cincinnati. It's in Kentucky, so
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And then going in the city was way more residential than crossing
Yeah.
the bridge and it's downtown.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I didn't really venture off too far in Cincy because I was like, airport's right here,
Yeah. Kentucky's
right
got
over the bridge
yeah.
to work.
And you have everything on. I mean, both sides of the.
Tropicana.
Yeah, both sides of the
Just
river.
down the road.
Both sides of the river
Pachinkos.
have all pachinkos.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, the
Zazu.
Covington.
We're
was-
gonna keep going down.
Oh,
Dude,
let's go,
I was
let's
just
go.
thinking
I'll-
I was thinking about this literally a couple days ago. Like, man, there was a day that it was the last time I was ever at Pachinko's and I didn't even know it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
Like,
just
that's
was over.
crazy.
Right?
It feels like Pachinko's and
Sunday
Zazu was
night.
like such a staple down
Sunday
there.
nights after our Bengals game, we would go over there to Pachinko's and turn that place up.
Oh yeah.
It was a good time.
you
Music
ever-
was good. Shout out DJ L Train because he was spinning over there before he started creeping over to Ohio.
You know what, man? Actually, L Train gave me credit for starting his DJ career, dude. How dope is that? Like L Train is.
Yeah, he's the guy.
He's top.
I love it. I love seeing his success.
Dude, he's such a good dude. I love that
Yes.
guy with all my heart,
That's a
man.
brother of mine. He
Yeah.
always will be.
L Train, if you're watching,
Yeah.
let's go, bro.
Yeah.
We miss you. We love you. DJ L Train, Lamar, Namar, let's go.
Yeah.
Dude, he's just he's one of those guys, man, that he's so good at what he does. You know what I mean? And obviously the accent, like whenever he's on the mic, it's
The
just
Jamaican.
dude, it's
you know?
it's just cherry on top for him.
Yeah, he's got it all.
Yeah, man.
I like that.
Did you ever did you ever go to Mainstay downtown, Mainstay Rock Bar?
No, I never made there. I used to go to Blackfin. If you wanted to start talking about
right.
downtown back in the day.
Okay,
Blackfin, and then transitioned into FBs.
I'm gonna bring up a
And I went to Exchange twice. If I want to go far back.
right, yeah.
I did.
Exchange was the whip, dude. But Blackfin was the go-to.
Pat Dye.
All right, I'm gonna
to Patrick Dye.
Pat Dye, bro, still killing the game, man.
He is.
Dude, I see Guest everywhere. Like,
Do you really?
like, so Guest is
Yeah.
like the carts; those are his.
Wow.
Patrick Dye owns that whole company, man.
for
So
him.
all those little golf carts
Yeah,
flying around for
makes sense,
free.
right?
He's a genius, dude.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pull up a tweet from 2009 about Blackfin.
Jeez.
This is
Was it you or me?
it was about you.
Oh, God.
It's good.
Great.
So this is from May of 2009. My friend Frostee Rucker plays football for the Cincinnati Bengals, so of course he showed us around his city. He's the one who taught me about the Nasty Natty. He took us to a club called Blackfin, right? This is where we got a little crazy. After that, we opened up a bar that was closed. Frosty knew the owners, so we were the only ones inside. Now this is where things get a little extra fun. Courtney and I went to White Castle for the first time ever. We absolutely loved it. We ate 2 cheeseburgers while sitting in bed talking.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Do you know who wrote this?
I do, but I'll let you tell everyone.
All right. So for everybody, watching, that's Frosty Rucker's good friend Courtney Kardashian.
Kourtney Kardashian.
Let's go, bro.
Hey.
And that was pre-Kardashians. Yeah. That's not look at me now Kardashians. That's like
That's whole different.
That's the Kardashians from 2009. So that's just
That was that
that's just more
SC LA
cherry
vibe.
on top, bro. That's like
USC.
That SCLA vibe.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I met all of them. So I was helping friends like that, Brody, which is her brother.
Yeah.
I was helping Brody and actually Paris Hilton get different appearance fees in Cincinnati. I was here
down
And
at
I wanted to
Club
party.
Claw,
I couldn't
bro.
be-
Yeah.
I couldn't be in LA, so I'm like, you guys got to come here.
That's dope.
I'll get it hooked up. You guys
Yeah.
got to come here, and they did. And they represented. They supported. And
that's-
when I sit back and I, watch TV and I see my friends out there doing their thing and, being parents and, experiencing the world, traveling and doing great things, it's awesome. I don't get caught up in all the drama of that. They're just to my core. They're my friends.
Yeah.
And coming to Cincinnati doing that for me because I couldn't leave.
Yeah,
to come here to party with me.
You're anchored
it
down.
Felt good,
Yeah, yeah,
and I
that's
knew
cool.
for the city it was a great thing because the people love to see those type of people. People
Yeah.
that are on TV, they love to see that. And to be able to be right there, give someone a dap and a high five and stuff like that, it means a lot. So, again, it's me, did it benefit me in a way? Yeah, 'cause I got to party with my friends.
Yeah.
But at the same time, at that time, they're getting appearance fees. That's what they were doing in their careers, right? So
Was
being
that-
an aid to that and not getting any kickback, but
Yeah.
just getting able to see my friend.
Right.
sure.
And it
Different.
made
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
Was that Club Claw?
No, it was Bang.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So
was
the one
Scott
after Club
Sheridan,
Claw.
Josh
Scott
User.
Sheridan, Josh User.
Hey, shout out to the boys.
Yeah, man.
And I went to Ghost Baby, so I did check that out.
Ghost Baby is incredible,
Wow.
dude. Incredible.
Josh, you're a genius. That was
Genius.
dude. I went in there because I've heard about it, and I actually just reached out like, you know what, Josh, I want to go to your spot. I want to check this out. I've heard so much about it, and I went, and I was just amazed.
It's-
to know
it's-
underground
it is
like
amazing.
that.
It's
yes.
so
It's
good,
yeah.
dude.
Just
So
creative.
good.
I
It's
just
next
love
level.
that.
It's next
like-
level below.
It's
Cincinnati slept on.
It's 1920s meets New York City, like
the live
like
music.
Oh,
that was
dude.
the vibe.
It's the aesthetic that they bring that you just don't see anywhere.
Right.
It's just there. It's one of a kind. But I do kind of want to transition. Shout out Ghost Baby though for sure, and I have a lot of friends that play there for sure, like buddies.
Here
of mine.
before
Yeah.
we transition, let's pull up the photo.
Yeah, pull up a photo. But I do want to transition. There's something I want to touch base on.
This photo.
Yeah.
Oh God, look at me. See, I have the LA hat though.
Oh, okay.
Let's keep it real.
Hanging out with Courtney. Which
But
is
I only
super
wore the
fine.
LA hat because it matched the shirt. So
That's
that
fair.
was swag. I did have Cincinnati hats with the red polo.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about the fit, bro. In the early 2000s.
We're not here to
too,
question
man.
what you were rocking one night.
Please don't.
No, of
I didn't
course
have
not.
a native hat at that time for it.
Of course not. We're not trying to question that.
You know
But-
what though? Courtney was the Kardashian that was wearing the native shirt and in that one photo, which is I've always wondered if she bought it off the website or if somebody here, like if she had a connection, because it's
That's
Courtney
awesome.
in particular that's got like my exact native shirt that we used to sell on the website before I had any of the stores. It was like,
Wow.
yeah, it was back when I was literally still selling the stuff out of the backpack, and it was just one of those shirts where it's like, wait a minute, how does she get that?
Because
Like,
we out here grinding.
hey, every
you
day,
know
bro.
that? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I do want to ask though. So you talk about like you mentioned TV, the word, and it kind of sticks with me. You're a really well-spoken, knowledgeable like guy where you kind of like have an insight, deeper than your average bear, if you will. And I don't know. I've seen very many things online of you doing stuff like on TV or appearances, and why haven't you done more like maybe like whether it's Fox Sports or whatever, whatever, it doesn't matter the platform, but why haven't you done more on TV as of like even in the college ranks? You know what I mean? I think that's something that you would be a natural fit for if it's So where's your head at with that, and why haven't you?
To be completely honest, I've never wanted to be face famous, so I feel like that's what comes with it. And nowadays, it's just like it becomes too much. When I'm locally around here in certain areas that I played in or at home in California, people know me, and that's good enough.
Sure.
But I wouldn't like to be every single place and be like, hey, it's the guy.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, I'm already always on, it's my personality.
Yeah,
so
your personality's got it.
I don't turn the
built
light
in.
off. I'm at Kroger. I'm hey, what
genuine
up,
on top.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just
It's
man,
just who you are. Yeah, yeah.
It's who I am, right?
Yeah, sure.
It would be more when you're face famous.
Okay.
And that's when you start getting people aggravated and you see them get pissed off on you.
Yeah.
Like, get out of my face. That's not me. I would never like to be like that and show a side like that.
Yeah.
So, and another thing that I really do not like to do is I don't like to nitpick people, especially when it comes to sports. I've missed tackles.
Yeah.
I missed Vince Young in
Sure.
the 2006 national championship.
Hey man,
I said it. You
I wasn't
didn't have to say it.
I wasn't gonna touch on that.
How
but
can I sit here and say
it's fair. That's fair.
something that loud and for a clip when it's like that's not how I am.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Who am I to judge? They play the
judging.
game every year.
Yeah,
I got to deal
right.
with that every year.
Right. You could be.
It's the easiest comeback when it comes to Frost. Oh, well, you couldn't catch Vince Young. I don't even want to do
But
that.
you play into it. That's the thing is you play into it and it's a part of the story. I think the story is what matters most at the end of the day because it's your journey. It's not mine. It's not Jay's. It's your journey. You know what I mean? And as the journey goes, like we all have this human experience. You can't control what you start out with. You can't control your physique. You can't control your speed. All you can control is what you do in this skin. And like you made the most of it. And telling those about your experiences, I think, goes a long way because people look for direction. Even if they may have a good support system, your voice may reign a little, like be a little higher amongst the crowd.
I appreciate that.
You know what I mean? So like I think there is something there, even though you may have missed a tackle once, twice, 3 times, it doesn't even matter because those individual plays are just one moment in time, right?
There's highs and lows.
Yeah, there's highs and lows with it.
Yeah.
And we have to hit the lows in order for the highs to actually be
But
fulfilling.
how many commentators say that?
Sure, I'm sure a ton.
They don't. But no, they don't say that part
The
of it.
lows, though, but they talk about the lows because they always grill the people in media about, or in the media is always grilling the players about the lows. The highs are kind of talked about, but really,
and unless it's top 10, they're not talked about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a dynamic there.
It's the negativity is what sells.
It sells.
And I'm not
Clickbait.
a negative person.
Exactly, but
so
you
I can't go down that road.
You could change it.
I can do this.
You can do this.
I can
yes,
do this.
You can do this.
You can ask me here in a way comfortable setting
Yeah.
than me with a tie on when
That's
I don't
fair.
like doing that.
You know
Sit
you're
up-
capable. You got
No,
the.
I
You
can
got.
do
Yeah,
it. I
you
didn't say I
got it.
couldn't do it.
Oh, you can.
I
Oh,
don't want to.
they know you can.
It's
I'm
a
sure
choice.
someone's come at you at
It's
some.
a choice.
Yeah, that's true, for sure. For sure.
And-
It's just a fascinating choice because you have got the personality built into the if I'm gonna watch TV, I'm gonna watch someone that I feel like is genuine.
Yeah.
And when you're coming in here and talking to us as you are, I think genuine is something that is really overlooked in media and society in general, because people are looking to fill a void that may never even exist. They're just looking for someone that fits the status quo, whatever that looks like.
Right.
And when you come in with a genuine and you're coming in talking like but you know you played the game, you know the game, you talked about how long you played since you were 7. So like because of the knowledge, that's the value and the personality and the delivery. Because I think delivery is everything. How you present something is everything. We talked about Jeff Ruby's.
Yeah.
If the presentation wasn't on their level, would you be giving a shout out like that? But you gave him a huge shout out.
Well,
No, not yet. We haven't talked about it yet. Well, he gave him a little.
We talked Jeff Ruby's earlier. Yeah, we
yeah.
talked it on. The listeners have definitely heard Jeff Ruby's name. But that's the thing is that
Say Jeff Ruby one more time.
Jeff Ruby.
Okay.
But that's the thing is the presentation.
Is he going to come like the Candyman, bro? Bring us some steaks?
The presentation.
Say it 3 times.
But the presentation there is why you talk about it. You're spending the money, but their presentation, and when you deliver something, that's presenting something to people. You know what I mean? Like we were talking earlier about how you said something about Cincinnati and not knowing where it's from and all these different things. And like when I hear about like some of the talking heads out there in the world and they talk about Cincinnati, like it's so cold and it's a rough place to be. And you've heard people talk negative of Cincinnati. It's hot here right now. It's hot here right now. It is hot here right now. There is no ice in sight. But what I'm saying is that Cincinnati is also slept on because we're a big tourist town now. There's a lot of things on the up and up, but word travels fast, but it only travels fast to a certain degree.
Wait till recreational hits.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Ain't nobody going to be talking that smack no more. I'm telling you.
Yeah?
It's coming.
It's coming.
I mean, now
Yeah.
you got real tourist destinations.
Real tourists, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All through the state of Ohio. So it's a great thing. And I understand what you're saying. I am not going to shy away from that. It's the delivery and all that. But when you're on a panel, sometimes you can't control what other people say, right?
Sure.
And they ask the questions, right?
Yeah.
So when you're asked a question, you'd like to give a response. And the negative thing is what sells.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
what sells. That's the
That's
catch.
what they're looking for.
And that's not what I'm
That's
giving
not you. That's not you. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not giving you that.
You're giving no negative vibes
So
at all. Yeah.
it ain't happening.
Yeah. That's
So
fair.
I just rather not.
People want
know?
you. You just hear the.
It's okay.
It's
But
okay.
I do a lot of speaking. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
One of my biggest speaking engagements that I'm committed to, I do assemblies in my hometown for elementary schools and talk about bullying. I talk about
that's cool.
teamwork. I
That's
talk
great.
about things like
That's
that.
cool.
But that's not on camera, right?
That's not on camera.
I'm telling you, but
Yeah.
I didn't post it, right?
Sure. Right.
Because it means more to me to be in person and do that stuff, and I'm committed to do it. And I have a contract, and I do that. I go around in Orange County and I talk to different kids, and I do things like that. Here in what's this? In end of July, I have to do an event for Mr. Irrelevant in Newport Beach.
Oh,
I'm
that's
on a
cool.
panel there,
Okay.
and I got drafted, but I'm from Orange County, and they reached out to me to, shed some light on sports and stuff like that with obviously the guest, but not only that, but Mr. Irrelevant. So I do things, I just don't post it.
Sure. Okay, that's
Right?
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
And that's what I do, you
That,
know?
I mean, there's levels to it, and there's a level of commitment that you have to go on air and be in that setting. And there's also contract negotiations and long-term goals that they'd have and agendas and all sorts of things. And I wouldn't want to get
And I'm
messed
not-
up with that.
exactly. I'm
Exactly.
not
I
in
totally get that. That's definitely a dynamic. But, I mean, I think you definitely have a voice that would be heard loud and clear.
I appreciate
I
it.
think
Yeah,
I think he's trying to
So just-
position you to be on his sports talk.
Oh, I mean, you can come on the sports talk. That's something, but we're not like Fox Sports and we're not ESPN. We're
And
talking.
that's a better setting. I may do it more.
Native
Yeah,
TV.
You know what I
I'd
mean? I may
love
do
to.
it more because you're not that.
That's
Yeah,
fair. I appreciate
right?
it.
You don't have the panel.
I don't want to
from-
do that. I don't.
Yeah.
That's just not my thesis.
That's cool. Yeah,
So-
I respect that. That's
a personal
honorable, man.
choice.
That's cool. That's
So
cool.
so there's highs and lows, right, to your career, man, and obviously the Vince Young thing, it sticks out in your mind because we were behind the scenes before you got here. We were like, should we bring it up? Should we not bring it up? Should we talk about it? Like,
Oh,
should I text him? It's one of those things, and it's just like, let's just see how it plays out. And for you to even bring it up, that's obviously like a
it's a moment.
It's a moment, and that's what we say is like memories are captured by experiences, whether they're good or bad. That's why your memory just takes photos, and you don't know why, but it's always at the high spectrums and the low spectrum. So you got to make sure that you get a bunch of these up there. What was the one? Because me personally, like there's one moment in your career that I'm just like, fuck yeah, dude, let's go. And I'm assuming this might be the highlight of yours as well, just because of, well, I don't want to throw any clues out, bro.
I want to know what you guys are talking about. Where are you getting at here?
All right, so you've got one pick, right?
Yeah.
One pick and
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Never forget.
Yes.
Never forget. And that's what we were. So
take us through like that experience, because obviously as a DE you're not necessarily getting that opportunity all the time. So what was your feeling like? Where were you at with this?
So that was I believe it was a third down play, and I was actually playing inside. I was playing 3 technique, and I was rushing
in Pittsburgh.
And I'll give you a little backstory. I was also playing on the pull calf. But that's besides the point. I'm giving you guys my all. Right?
Yeah.
It's for the natty, right?
Oh, yeah.
I was giving it my all. So I'm out there, and I'm trying to rush. I'm giving my best go. And Big Ben throws a laser at someone's head. And you probably got the guy CTE. I don't know. But he hit someone so hard, and the ball just flicked in the air. And I caught it. And so I tell you, when you have these moments where everything flashes by, I went back to, like, high school, right, running the ball. I was a running back in high school.
Oh, yeah.
So I got the rock, and it just got like back in the day, right?
Let's go.
So I hit the corner on him, but my calf was not all right.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, I only got caught because there's a running back that caught me. And shout out to Rob Gathers, because I do remember the play. He gave a huge crackback, and that was my boy, number 91, Rob Gathers. And it was a huge moment. It was the year we beat every team in the AFC North. We skunked everyone. We lost in the playoffs, obviously. But besides that was a huge moment in my career.
Oh, yeah.
Because not only did we win that game, so we beat Pittsburgh here and there, right? Baltimore here and there.
Yeah.
Right? Cleveland here and there.
Let's go.
It's a big deal.
Hell yeah,
right?
it is.
Because usually you want to split with them, right?
Right.
You want to split
gotta
with
get
them
them back.
at least. You got to
get them back.
split.
Yeah.
Because, when you go on the road, defense is at a disadvantage, right? Offense is, you got to pack your special teams and your defense when you're on the road, because offense is at disadvantage with the crowd noise, right? So being in those environments and winning and shutting the crowd up, especially your division, don't get no better than that.
For sure,
right?
dude.
And making plays like that, getting a pick, and then you're on SportsCenter and you're out there getting busy. Because, for me, I'm not from here. All the players aren't from here, right? So when you make a play like that, especially as a lineman, and you get on SportsCenter and Chris Berman saying your name and giving you this whoop, and giving you all that stuff, that's major,
That's huge.
And that's everyone back home that didn't watch the game because they're Raider fans or they're Ram fans, right? I won't say any other, or Niner fans, I got to say it because our Niner fans, they didn't watch the game clearly, but they seen their boy make a play.
Right.
And as a lineman, rumbling and stumbling and bumbling.
Oh, that's huge. That is the
there you
biggest.
go.
That's
It's
huge. I mean,
major. So
when the lineman gets to touch the ball, man, when a lineman gets to touch the ball, let's just say, like, there's a whole lineman celebration.
Oh, my God.
Man, it's internal, it's external, it's for the fans.
Ruby's.
We're going to Ruby's.
We're going to Ruby's.
Jeff
do
Ruby's.
you still have
One
that
more.
football? Is it underneath the TV so you can see it every single day?
So believe it or not, Jay,
Because that's what I told him. I said that they were like
Kevin Clancy back here.
yeah.
Shout out to
Kevin was saying
Yeah,
he was like, man, do you think he knows like who he picked the ball off of? And then once he pulled up that it was Ben, I was like, fuck yeah, he knows, dude.
Yeah, of course.
That ball is sitting underneath the TV right now, so he sees it every single day.
No, it's not.
Big Ben's over there.
So I have a
like,
lot. Fortunately, I have a lot of game balls, so it's not. But the Bengals didn't do a good job. They didn't used to paint the balls when you make a play or win. They didn't do that.
Oh,
so
no.
other teams did when you get game balls. But I just kept that ball, and all they did was like wrap tape or athletic tape and write Frostee interception 26 yards.
Hey, that's
It's still on there.
I kind of like that even better, man. That's like old school,
Yeah,
right? That's
it's
like
still there.
getting like a paperback baseball card instead of a holographic.
You make an interesting point though. I
What?
can't help but like think about like the differences in cultures that you've been through, in different organizations, right? Because like the Bengals is much different than like the Cardinals or.
When I played for
You
the
mentioned the
Bengals,
Raiders and the Rams.
You know what?
Rams are my team, by the way. Just Rams and the Bengals are my two teams. I got my
I
AFC,
started
my
playing
NFC.
football because of the Rams.
The Rams. Marshall Faulk is my fave.
Go.
My fave. I got his jersey, which I was recently found, which was cool. Like when I was little,
As a kid jersey.
a kid
yeah,
jersey.
yeah.
I love my Faulk
That's
jersey, man.
gangster.
I had all. Yeah, he's my favorite. But like that's the thing is like the different cultures that you have walked in the locker room and seen. Like this is interesting. I mean, even USC's different than the Bengals. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's there's levels to it, even at the college level, especially with football with college. And at USC, they treat it, totally on a different level with Pete Carroll, you never thinking Carson Palmer and everything that went through him with, so what is your take on like these different cultures? And be honest. I love the honesty and let's hear it.
Starting off with Cincinnati getting drafted here, there's a lot of things when you're a kid that you look forward to being in the NFL, right? Outside of getting some rims on a whip, outside of that stuff and having cheese to go to Ruby's. I just like saying Ruby's.
Right.
I want that cake.
Bowie, are you listening? Let's go.
Our man Bowie.
Bowie, bro.
I just like bringing up these names. 'cause
Okay, Jump Cafe. Do you remember Jump Cafe?
no.
Oh,
What
that
is
was
that?
Bowie's. That was before Bowie even knew what he was doing, bro. This was right across the street from where like Exchange was.
Okay.
There was that was probably Overflow is probably too old for you, but Mix Ultra Lounge.
Mix.
So Mix turned in that place turned into Mix,
Okay.
right? So Jump Cafe, that was his original place where he was just running the show, and it was like he hooked it
What
up
a
for
great
me,
guy.
dude. He's incredible, man. I had my mom and dad like 20th wedding anniversary, 30th wedding anniversary. There was an elevator that they like cemented on the second floor and just turned it into like a 2-person like dining
that's
room.
what's up.
Yeah, but like
Just took care of it.
Bowie hooked it up and like to the point where my dad is like hardcore, bro. Like came from nothing, like
Don't help me, I
made
got
something.
it.
Yeah, my dad when he came home, he was like, that dude that you introduced me to, he's gonna be something.
He's a
like
great dude. Look at him now.
Look at him now, bro. Like Bowie, we love you, bro. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Yeah, we do.
Man, all right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Back to the original episode.
Yeah, you're regular schedule program.
What's the question?
The question was the culture change between whether it's USC, Bengals, Browns, any of the different locker rooms you walked in, and how things were different. Like whether was it a shell shock? Was it one of those things where like, oh, I've seen this before? Or like, oh, this is totally different than when I was drafted.
Totally different.
You know what I mean?
totally different than what I thought.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so coming to the Bengals before it was the New Day.
New Day before the New Day.
It was before the New Day.
The New Day.
So one of the things that you grew up wanting to do is run out of the tunnel, right? You want to run out of that tunnel.
Yes.
We didn't do that. We ran out as a group, a unit. So I used to ask Marvin, like, why can't we get the player introductions? No. It was
No
exactly
explanation?
Nothing.
No explanation.
That
There's
just
there
wasn't
wasn't
what
like
they did. It was
Okay.
now it's a new day
which they do.
because it's a new day.
Okay.
It
Was
wasn't
that
a
was
new
that
day.
was so I'll be the
It was
man.
yesterday.
It was it was yesterday. That's hilarious.
DUI.
Was this a Marvin Lewis
I don't know.
dictated movement, or was this an
I couldn't say that.
organizational? Was it Brown
probably
family?
Organization because that's just what the
Status
thesis
quo.
was. It wasn't the extra stuff, right?
Sure.
We didn't have the bubble,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That bubble that they have probably could have kept Carson Palmer here, right?
Right, for sure. That's
And
crazy
that
to
became a
think.
big issue, right?
That's crazy
Carson
to think.
was loyal to Cincinnati.
Yes,
and
he was.
Those are the things that if I could tell the story, I think he was going to pay for it himself,
Wow.
Oh,
and it didn't happen.
Wow.
Right?
Wow, yeah.
Things like that. So this isn't a bashing session. You know how I get down.
No,
You
I went
asked me
honestly.
a question.
You've been very honest and transparent up to this point, so I expect
believe
the same to continue.
It's things
yeah.
like that we're just like, why not? It's freezing. We didn't have indoor facilities, so we practice on the turf inside the facility. But when it's 1 degree, before we even went to UC, we were going to some family fun center with the roofs for 10 foot, so the punters couldn't punt, and we're practicing in there.
And why should you have to when you're a national, team?
Yeah, why should you have to
professional team?
Why should you have to be? I mean, like we see the how the Bengals organization, they grade each team each year with how they handle, player, I guess, I don't know, like all the different dynamics that have nothing to do with on the football field.
And that poll's new.
Yeah, that wasn't around back then. That would, but they didn't get the greatest grade either. But but also the Chiefs, who won the Super Bowl, also got a bad grade. So on my end of things,
I get it.
Like a Super Bowl winning organization is getting just as bad of a grade as the Cincinnati Bengals because of the mid market team type of thing. But like even then, like it's NFL. The indoor practice facility, they didn't have that when you were there. That's a new thing. We know that. And like to me, how you treat the players and how you treat the players' families and how you treat the players, even guests. If a player's a guest in there, they should be treated as such because they're running this city on a totally different level because the city is now in 2024. I mean, when we were at the Super Bowl to now, we're still feeling that, that I don't know, the wave that happened from the Super Bowl.
That was the same wave from the 80s that they kept going, and that's why people kept buying season tickets. Because of what they did in the 80s.
Yeah, they live because this city is passionate.
Very passionate.
And they live and they live with the sports on their sleeve because the Reds or the Bengals, there's pride in this. And when the organization kind of like seems to let it down in a certain way, whether it seems direct or not, it doesn't, because we don't know. We put our 2 cents in, people pick it. They put signs up when things aren't going well, but the games still, the games are selling out now. It's packed now. There was a time when people were worried about paper bags over people's heads.
Yeah.
Those days are definitely over. A new day, as you say, is new day.
It's a new day, and they're doing a fantastic job. And again, I'm not here to bash anyone.
Sure.
You asked about the experience.
I want to know about this experience as honest as possible.
What it is now, and this is why I still cheer for them. That's why I still support them. And that's why when you said Bengals Frostee, I'm still Bengals Frostee Rucker.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I always will be.
Always. When you're drafted, that's the way it works. Yeah.
2006 draft.
Yeah.
3rd round.
Yeah. I was a junior in high school. I was a junior in 2006.
And I was at Tropicana.
I know. He's at Tropicana.
So was I, bro. So was I. That's why I told Kevin, I was like, it's got to be like 2006 is when we were at Tropicana. Because he was like, you said something like 2010, and I'm thinking 2010, bro. Like, no, man, it's got to be fucking earlier than that for sure. I just text Jubal too. I just said, yeah, hell yeah, I text Jubal, man. I'm sure he's got his phone on silent right now. It's past 10 o'clock, and he doesn't.
Absolutely.
I'm sure he still gets random messages where he's just.
Jubal, are you out?
It was just get him in trouble. Yeah.
I live in Louisville.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's still my best friend, man. Like,
God, he's solid.
Jubal's such a good dude. I love that guy, man. He's a teddy bear. He's that guy that wants to hold the rabbit and doesn't realize that like his claws are so strong that it kills the rabbit, and then he's just like
a mice and men type of guy.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
There's a throwback movie.
Right.
But yeah, bro. So what's next for you? I know you like investing in things, and like so. You're doing a lot of things locally too with the.
Yeah. So locally, what I have coming up here is I sit on the board of the Cincinnati Golden Gloves with Buddy LaRosa and his kids.
Oh wow!
And their kids, and it's a terrific program that they have going on downtown. And we have a big event September 4th at Montgomery and Boathouse.
Okay.
And it's a neat event where they fly kids in from Ireland to fight the kids from Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. And they do it. It's all respect. It's all integrity. It's all about their culture, our culture. And everyone's got their bourbon. They got their cigars going. And I'm emceeing. So it's a good time. See, I do things.
Wow, all right.
I just don't
you do things, yeah.
Locally, yeah.
You do things, and you
I'm still here. I'm still supporting.
Yeah, and you keep a a low profile, but you're still doing big things. You know what I mean? Like that's the name of the game, really. At the end of the day, is how much impact you're making.
I'm doing the work.
Exactly, putting the work in.
Yeah.
You don't need the big
not.
platforms.
And that's not what I was
You
ever
aren't
here for.
Yeah, that's not what's meant to be. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the platform was around me, the atmosphere, but I'm still me.
Yeah.
So as long as I just stay grounded with 10 toes down and do what I'm supposed to do and do what I was taught from my father and my mother, and how to be and how your character's supposed to be, and what type of friend you're supposed to be, what type of brother you're supposed to be, what type of son I'm supposed to be, what type of boyfriend I'm supposed to be, what type of dad
Father,
I'm supposed to be.
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Lincoln. Birthday's tomorrow. Let's go.
Hey,
Big 7, guys. Ooh.
Hey, that's huge.
Oh, stud. I love him. Yeah. So that's just, to my nature, it's my core thesis, is to be how I was raised, and don't let things get bigger than they are. And that includes people. But, I don't think of myself bigger than anyone. While I'm sitting over by myself, I'm kind of like, why isn't someone else over here? I just never have envisioned myself like that in some status. I know who I am.
Right.
I know what I've done, but I don't see myself bigger than anyone.
Right.
Because in your own right, you've done things. I've never put a successful company like this together myself. And be
We
creative.
got you. We can get you involved.
But I'm just telling you,
We can
I've
get
never
you
done anything
involved.
like that.
Yeah.
So
I
you
can
got me
teach you.
beat when it comes to this.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah. Don't talk shit, but you do. You got me
Right.
beat here, right?
Right.
So it's the same way. And what I do, I never wanted anyone to feel that I was bigger than them or bigger than the moment. That's not me.
Right.
Right? I work to be where I'm supposed to be, and that's where I'm at.
I mean, you know what I love, bro? I love the fact that Buddy LaRosa, right, who owns La Rosa's, and they're doing an event down at Montgomery Inn, which is, it's not a competitor. Well, it's probably a partner, right? Because they do the Montgomery Inn pizzas, so there's got to be a friendship there.
Yeah, they got a great friendship.
But the fact that you are rubbing elbows with the OGs of Cincinnati, it just shows the type of person you are and the type of place that you want to elevate yourself to. You know what I mean? Because it's like it didn't stop at the door when you left the Bengals.
No.
You're still here. There's a tie to the city. Even afterwards, you got traded to different teams, but Northern Kentucky is still your place, which is it's such an amazing place to live, man. Like me, him, and Tyrell all live in Dayton, Kentucky, so
Awesome.
we're right
down
there.
Here, right? Yeah.
Dude, a mile away from this
Yeah,
place. I skateboard down here through
awesome.
the springtime and fall time. Yeah,
Definitely not in the winter.
right. Yeah, unless I have to, unless the wife's got the car, bro.
Right.
I'll do it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, don't get it twisted.
I'm a hustler. Yeah,
Don't
this
get it
store's
twisted.
got to
I'ma
be
get
open,
there.
player.
I'ma get
It'll be
there.
open. Yeah.
I heard that.
But to see that you've once the time ran out in Cincinnati, you still invested in the city, and now you're rubbing elbows with the literal legends of the city, the people that put Cincinnati on the map, man. That's really a testament to the person that you are, and what Andrew was saying earlier on how easily you are to talk to, and how like well represented you put yourself. You know what I mean? It's like there's an aura thing. Like you can have the quickest lip in the game, and you can be you can be a smooth talker, but people recognize aura. They recognize that inside thing that exudes, that no one can hide. You know what I mean? You've got it, bro. Like you've got that thing that people just want to gravitate towards, and they want to be a part of your life. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
That's why you're in this position you are now. Like you stay humble, you hustle hard. You've got the family to look out for. You've got, a young Lincoln who's, 7, probably going on 20 right now, right? And he's probably so more adapted to technology and stuff when you were even in your college days. So it's like, how am I gonna, like what? I know we're cutting short on time, man, but like, what do you see Lincoln doing in the next 10 years? Like by the time he's 18,
Just being a great person.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to support him however, whenever is the chance to do it.
Absolutely.
So right now he loves basketball, but I also tell him there's more to there's more than just basketball. There's more than football.
Mm-hmm.
And he's learning that outside of that, because I take him for the memories and the moments, right?
Oh, yeah.
To be in atmospheres, to see it and be like, it's not bigger than you.
Right.
Right? Quiet the noise and just watch. Right?
Yeah.
And I take them to UC basketball games. My mentor, John Burns, president of Encore Technologies here in Cincinnati, big data company. He takes good care of me and Lincoln. Anytime there's a Reds game or anything like that, I just put my name in the hat, and he's like, "Yeah, I got you guys."
Yeah.
So I get to take him to these moments, and it's a reflection of how I am to John Burns, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're saying I'm rubbing elbows with these, well, you have to do something to be in
In the
area
room, yeah.
to rub those elbows.
Oh yeah.
And that's being consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And
And true to yourself. You
there you
can't fake it, bro,
You can't
because
fake it. You can't
people
fake
at
it in
that
the locker
level
room. You can't
sniff
fake
it out
You can't
quickly.
fake it. Yeah. Because I mean well.
Yeah.
John Burns mentored me when I first got to Cincinnati. He was running CBTS with Jack Cassidy.
Yeah.
And did all the data for them and started his own company. But, he mentored me. And then his son was coming up. He was going to Purcell High School in Cincinnati, and I mentored him and took him under my wing a whole summer as he was training for high school sports. So I let him train with me.
That's awesome, dude.
He got dropped off every day.
Yeah.
Dropped him off in my house. We cooked
Yeah.
and made lunch and did everything. And I took him training with me and showed him a couple things. I went to his practices and helped them out. And it was just because it's who I am.
Right.
I didn't really need anything from it. All these other things, the fruits of the labor come when you don't.
On the back end, when
they
you're not
all
expecting
come.
it, for sure.
Yeah, just do right.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm all about. Do more good than bad.
100%.
Do more good than bad. Yeah.
Just do more good than bad.
Yeah. I like to go like, if you can, you should.
Yeah.
If it's there for you and you're able to make a difference doing it, like you should. You can, you should, because
Know better, do better.
do better. Exactly. And with that mentality, I think that brings a lot more good your way than you even realize, because when you open doors that may not even open for like fully open for a long time, but when you make that impact and it comes back and you hear about that person you might have helped way down the line, you're like, hey man, that impact really goes a long way. And you see that, and the more you do that, word gets around. People will recognize that. Like you said, people you rub elbows enough with people that can sniff out the good from the bad, that goes such a long way, because now you're not just an athlete. It's more than being an athlete.
Yeah.
You're an influencer. You're inspirational, and like we said earlier, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow with Mother Nature. Like, it's hard enough as it is. So when you have the inspiration in front of you, I think that says a lot about not only the person, but like the culture. You would like, if someone could put you in a leadership program, they would understand the culture is going to be something genuine and close to the heart, because you care about people around you. And you don't have to be on TV to show it. You don't have to film it. You don't have to video it. You just do it, right? And I think that says a lot. So kudos to you, man, for putting that work in and putting that time in, because there's not flowers to be had. It's just doing the work and putting the time in, and maybe not even getting there's no instant gratification. It's happening a long time from now. If you're putting someone under your wing, you got to take the time to invest in them, develop them, and you don't even get to see the outcome until maybe they're 2 steps ahead. And you're like, well, that's good. I see him, little homie finally made it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. We see it here at the store a lot. People come in, want to know about how to get their brand off the ground, or how they can get a store of their own. And we kind of like, all right, well, start with pre-sales. We give a little hints in there, whatever, and like what to do.
Yeah, we get, like, I give them the recipe to Coca-Cola, bro. Like, if I can cut 2 years off of trial and error.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And
You're supposed
it,
to do that.
Of course, bro. And it's like I've been in the situation where I've asked people for the recipe to Coca-Cola, and the guy goes, "Go fuck yourself." I'm not going to give it to you. Like, find it. You know what I mean? So once I found it, it's like I could be this guy, or I could be a different person that takes 2 years off of trial and error on the next kid's life. And he gets right to the bread and butter. And if he gets close to what I'm doing, guess what, man? I'm just gonna get better, so I can distance myself again. You know what I mean? And that's the part of the business that Native is in, is like, we give the recipe out. Like,
Cheers.
If you want to come in here, hey,
Cheers.
Because that's
man.
how it is, bro.
Yeah, man.
Cheers. appreciate that, man, because this whole store's hangout culture, man. Like we're
can tell.
we built it for the misfits. Like we built it for the people that want to come in and they come in and they just tell us their troubles, bro. Like I'm sitting there printing shirts
Like a
and
barbershop.
like a barbershop.
Yeah.
It's just like a barbershop, but we built this where, the kids come in and we know they're not going to buy anything. You know what I mean? But we've been in that position. I've been that 14-year-old that walks into that store and goes, man,
one day I'm
gonna get that shirt.
I was literally
what I mean?
that person, and back in the day, I was a Florence.
We
mall rat.
were all that person.
Yeah, I was literally in a store called Cosmic, which was like
gothic
streetwear, all sorts of shoes and stuff. It was a cool place, and they had a really cool hangout culture. They had a half pipe in the back, and I would go in there every day. I used to run up walls and do backflips and do the parkour thing, and the fearless game, kind of don't care, whatever. And
he's the lead singer of a screamo band too, bro.
I did the music
like
thing,
legit,
Really?
like
Yes,
like a signed label. Like they're good.
We were pretty good. We did our thing, but yeah, it was a very inspiring time for me because I was like, all right, I'm gonna make the moves and go the distance, and I tried, and we value effort, but you have 6 other people that are in one camp plus a merch guy. You know how camps work. You have them here. It's an internal battle every day, but even back in the day, further than that, when I was playing bass in bands, I would be at the mall in Florence, Kentucky, and that culture of Cosmic was just like, it was like a place to call home, and I was under the table, doing my thing with him and helping him out here and there with Daniel and a guy that was taking me under his wing, and he was the GM of the store, and I would go home with him and stuff. Things were just weird. I was in the music scene. It was just all over the place. But that hangout culture, I was like, dude, that is something I would love to one day create. And then when this opportunity happened and we were here and Jay and I started working together and everything started to play out, I was like, man, I could literally do that hangout culture I've always wanted to do. And he had the same kind of mentality. And I was like, this is awesome. This is literally what I've been trying to do. Yeah. I mean, this was 2006. When you're literally when you're getting drafted, I'm at the Florence Mall every single day. Literally we go there and go to shows to the Mad Hatter in Covington on Scott Street every single dude 3 times a week. I'm not even. And then band practice that was all music every day. And then I was on wrestling. I was on the wrestling team, so I was at wrestling practice and then music. That was kind of my. There are 2 different worlds. Wrestlers and musicians don't get along. It's wild, but I blended, and
that is really funny. I never thought about that. Literally, that is the craziest juxtaposition, being a wrestler and
in the music world, and sit at the lunch table at high school. I would be at the wrestlers table, and I would go to the musicians table, and the musicians don't want to have no beef. The wrestlers, they're pushed down. The wrestlers are pushed down. They're not the football players. They're not the basketball team, but they're
wearing garbage bags at lunchtime to sweat out the 2 extra pounds.
Right,
yeah,
but the wrestlers feel like they can match up with anyone because they're the athletes, but they're just not getting any credit. It's hilarious. The musicians are they're their whole own thing, and there was a time when, look at that.
Window love.
Look at that. That's what's up.
Window love.
Yeah, man. Shout out to
He just dapped Frosty. Hey, you just dapped up Frostee Rucker. You just dapped up Frostee Rucker.
Frostee Rucker, bro. Who? Welcome.
Bengals player, Frostee
Bengals
Rucker.
player.
Look. He knows.
What's up, dog?
That's a real handshake. Look at that.
Man, Jacob would absolutely go stupid.
There it is, bro.
Come on. Look at that.
Frosty, this is the reason. So the reason why we love the Levy so much is because they let us put a podcast stage in the front window. Kenwood, they hated it, bro. When we had a store there, they made us take the microphones down, the whole 9.
Too bougie.
And, too bougie. And we were like, we want this. We want it to look like an aquarium where people can just wave, right? Instead of having mannequins, they have the T-shirts. Put the podcast stage up with a QR code or something.
Yeah.
Bro, when he realized, when he heard that it was Frostee Rucker, his jaw just dropped down like Jay Leno.
He didn't
OG, man.
OG, yeah.
OG
and they know.
Hey, virtual tap to that. Let's go, man. That's my homie.
Let's go.
I appreciate that.
All love, guys. All love.
Oh,
All right, man. I know
Yeah.
you got to get going, bro. It's 10:46. Is there anything else that we need to lock
I
up?
just want to give a shout out to my son Lincoln. It's his birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's big 7. So Lincoln was born June 12th, 2017 at 4:20 a.m. And he's a special kid. He's bright, and I love him dearly.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, son. It's a big Father's Day for me, as always. And yeah, that's all I got.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, and I'll say that was probably the most you've glowed this entire podcast. I can feel it. I'm a father of a 4-year-old, Charlie. She's my baby. Yeah, man, and it's just she just changed my. I stepped away from music. We talked about that earlier because of her. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I was just like, man, I just don't think of like another tour opportunity because it was not about like a 1-week tour. It was more about stepping away because I knew other guys wanted it.
Yeah.
And like these guys are serious musicians. I was like, I don't think I could take a month. I literally because at one point I'd be the guy. You're not going to come with us. Yeah. Right. You got to find another guitar player to fill in for him. That's how I would literally. I mean, they don't want to give a job up.
I retired to be a dad.
Exactly.
He was 1 year old, and I was playing in Oakland, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So
that's it.
Cheers.
Yeah, man. I literally can relate. And it's like not necessarily giving up a dream. It's like giving up it's not giving up. It's like pivoting to a new chapter of life. Like I put music on hiatus. I'd love to write again, but like that child when I held her was like real life magic. It changed my like
the first time you held her and you game changer. It was wild. I couldn't even believe it. And like my hospital experience Happy
was
Father's Day.
You as well.
Thanks.
You as well.
Thanks.
My hospital experience was so weird because the whole dynamic. It's all off-camera conversation, but like it was a really bad. But at that time, I'm just holding this baby. I'm like, I take this baby home with me. Oh, yeah. I literally was thinking, I was like, this is what I'm. They're like, yeah, you only can stay another day, actually. So you guys got to go. And like, I was like, I guess we're gonna figure this out. Yeah. And now she's 4.
Do I got to pay for this? To do it like, is there a cash register? Like how do I?
That comes with this?
Yeah, like
here we go.
Right, because this isn't just like a thing you're putting together of any kind of like technology. This is like real skin and like you have to
drive home.
You got to drive home. You have to make sure you feed them right.
It's bro.
Yeah, literally.
We're aliens. That's all it is to it. It's the craziest thing that we can just create another human that has all the working pipes.
Yeah.
It's got a stop. It's got a little faucet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That we can stop and start. You know, the whole 9. Like,
and now they have opinions. Like,
and it's all
you're at 7, so you're.
The most
they all got
beautiful part is
opinions.
when they act like you and you see it, and you're like, "Oh, that's me."
That's me.
And you can't yell at them. You can't yell at them.
Yeah. When Charlie like lines up her little, she was like these little balls that they little pieces you take out and it's mystery balls.
Okay.
Mystery balls and they're like, but they're the little girl things and like whatever, like boy, girl, different, whatever. But when she takes them out and she lines them all up, I was like, I used to do that. I used to take all my little characters and line them up, and she's doing the same thing. She has no idea that I ever did that at 5 years old. But here she is lining them all up. I'm like, how does she know that? Like, it's like, how does she even know to do that? Not that that's an obvious thing, but the way she does it. And I remember being so specific with the order because I liked the colors order. I was so specific when I was little, and she's doing the same stuff. I'm like, there's no way she can read a blueprint of what I did, but it's
DNA.
It's DNA, and it is the most fascinating thing to watch. I'll be real. It is. I've never watched anything more entertaining.
Same.
Yeah, it's shout out Father's Day, man.
Yeah,
we're here, man. We're here.
Here we are.
Yes,
Father's Day
sir.
special.
Yeah, but we let's talk
I'm a
about this.
stepdad. I don't have.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Jay.
I've got a 15-year-old.
Happy Father's
step
Day,
up.
Jay.
Yeah, dude,
Put food on the table.
Yeah.
I put food on the
Clothes on
table,
the
bro.
back.
I put clothes on the back. I put essentials on the back.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she appreciates that for sure.
That's the best thing.
Yeah.
The gratification of that, the reward of it, of saying when they say thank you and they appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You can see it that it was.
Dude, it's changed my life completely, man. Like I've we've gone through it. We've dated girls. We've done the whole 9, and like I finally found somebody that had a daughter, which I've always avoided, right? Because it's always been one of those things where it's like, you know, I want firsts. Like I want that first with other people. But when it came to meeting Kaylin, it was like, bro, like this is amazing. Like she's already got all the dumb shit done because now she's a mother, right? So like all the idiotic shit's already gone, and now I've got like a little mini version of my best friend.
Love it.
You know what I mean? And
Cherish it.
yeah, bro. Oh, I love it, man. And she's such a smart girl. She's a cheerleader at Rising Sun.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's
Awesome.
she's also playing volleyball.
Good for
So
her.
yeah,
Best of luck.
just turned 15, going on 30, bro.
Happy Father's Day, brother.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. All right, man. So from River Green Cocktails,
Hey.
this is from them to you. So they wanted me to give you a 6-pack. So
appreciate it.
apparently you said you already had one.
Yeah,
Which
but
is even better
they
that
got the
you
gimlet?
bought the product before you were even
It's
giving
crazy.
it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got 2 of each. It's got Bee's Knees, Greyhound, and the Gimlet in there. Do you want a Gimlet to go? Is that
That's
you didn't
Shane
get a
Graham's
chance?
favorite drink, Gimlet.
Shane's my boy from back in
Yeah.
the day too.
A Gimlet.
Red Whips,
is-
bro.
Oh,
Red
you already
Whips.
know.
Let's go.
You already know.
This is from them to you,
Thank
bro.
you. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it, and I will give them a special shout out as I sip these slowly.
And I'm gonna make sure that I link up you and Allison, because Allison will get that micro influencer
perfect.
deal for you for sure.
I love it.
If if you're willing to
I'll
put their
help.
product out there, it's good, dude. It's really good. I've only had 2 of these. I'm not even 2 in, and I'm
I will
definitely
say the
buzzing.
Bee's Knees is definitely it's my favorite so far.
Well, the Greyhound has that grapefruit flavor, so
Yeah.
you have to like grapefruit.
You have to. It's
I'm a
it's
big
that kick.
grapefruit
This
guy,
this Bee's Knees. It's very smooth.
It's a lemonade.
It's that's what I was gonna say. It's
Yeah.
very
Mike's
smooth,
hard, but
lemonade.
like-
Yeah. So
but
I really
not.
like the Bee's Knees for sure. Because it's all preference. I mean, the grapefruit is definitely the kick for sure. I'd like to try the Gimlet at some point. But we'll be working with River Green for a while, so I'm excited to see all the products they come out with.
Absolutely.
Because like you
And you can buy
the
them at Party
package-
Source.
Yeah, at Party Source, and down here, like we're at Newport on the Levee, so like we're close to everything. So at the end of the day, when I'm sure these places, Bee's Knees is going to be and River Green is going to be in everything because like
Yeah.
this quality stuff and 12%.
So everyone that's watching this
Yeah.
right now, just understand we're going to be pushing this River Green
The
product out
cocktails,
here.
yeah,
and
man.
we want to get it in all the stores locally.
All the stores, yeah,
We want to
man.
blow this up.
And the packaging's great too. It's like it's got a classic look to it. At the end of the day, like you got, it's perfect. At the end of the day,
Gin, lemon, honey, and sparkling water.
Yeah,
so
man.
it's a tasty treat.
it is.
Load it up, guys.
Yeah, so right now you can buy it at the Party Source. They got it in singles, 4-packs, and the variety pack, which is that 6-pack that we've got. One Stop Liquor in Bellevue. That place is low key fire, honestly, dude.
One Stop?
That One Stop, right there by the McDonald's. Liquor King in Dayton's got it. Kroger has got it as well.
That's where I seen them. I didn't want to tell everybody I was in Kroger getting bourbon, but that's what I was doing.
Yeah,
I seen
bro.
them, and I was like, yeah, I'll absolutely
Good,
try
good
it.
for
This is the
her,
bee's
man.
knees.
Yeah.
This is the Bee's Knees.
This is the Bee's Knees. That's what I'm. That's what
All
I'm here
right.
for.
So if anybody wants to get a hold of Frostee Rucker, it is the Organic Frost on Instagram.
I'm
Frost.
on LinkedIn also, so don't get it twisted. If we're doing business, hit me on LinkedIn. Frostee Rucker, FROSTEE.
W.
Dude, and LinkedIn's the whip, bro. I like you get a lot of contacts through
yeah.
LinkedIn, but I can't afford that $1.99.
I ain't paying that.
Bro,
I got
that's
the
just
basic plan.
crazy,
I got the
dude,
basic
like-
plan, player.
Man, I'm
don't
like
need that
I'm
plan.
in
You don't need
I'm
that
in
I
plan.
got the
Right.
basic plan.
You got
I'm
the
in the
basic.
game right now where I'm trying to reach like the lids buyers, you know,
Yeah.
and
We
they
gotta
want me
speak
to
it to
spend
us.
like
Listen, we gotta
$1.99
talk.
a month or some
Oh.
shit.
I've
It's like
got
you gotta be
I've got one better for you.
What you got?
We are the ones they're going to reach out to.
There you go.
We are the ones they're going to reach out
Got
to.
to.
So at the end of the day, we are the ones they're going to reach out to because every single day we come in here and we try to make moves, regardless if the moves are to be made or not. We come in and we make them, and every single day we're shooting for Mars. If we land on the moon, that's what's up. But it's pretty much our blood, sweat, and tears that go into.
I'm 100% in
everything,
on that,
man.
bro, because
You know?
I was thinking earlier today, like there's like the shit runs through my mind all the time. Like, first of all, nothing goes on sale in the store. We don't put anything on sale. We either like, it trickles out, and if it gets down to 2 or 3, I'd rather give that shirt away to a homeless person or a kid to keep that status here.
Yeah.
And then just not run them anymore.
Yeah.
And then the second is having that mentality of, damn. See, these liquors got me. What were you just talking about?
They're gonna reach out to they're
gonna reach out to us.
We don't have to reach out to them.
That was my thing. How do brands have longevity? The only way that a brand can have longevity is if places like Macy's, Lids, these companies, they reach out to them. Once those companies stop reaching out to them, that's when they don't have longevity. So we got to get to the point where Macy's, Lazarus, like all these companies that carry product, they're calling our phone to say we want to carry native.
I'm looking for further. I'm looking
that's
for a
the
cult
point.
following.
We have a cult.
Target.
We have a
for
cult
those things.
following.
We have the following, and I'm looking for.
Dude, I've got
You get hip.
a genius idea for
Let's go.
Target. I want to go into Target. I want to buy 20 pieces of their Goodfellows or whatever blank brands that they sell.
Yeah. I like Goodfellas.
I want to bring it home, and I want to
Mash it.
I want to redo the whole thing, and I want to return it to the store. It's tag still on it, and just say, hey, these didn't work out. So then Target puts them back on the shelf.
They probably will.
And then I post
Worker bees.
Hey, Native brand has 20 jackets at Target for $28.
You know what time it is.
And I just take a GoPro and hide it in the corner and just see people pick it off, pick it off, and then tag them. Be like, why do you have Goodfellas in here that sits for 3 months and doesn't sell? And then I put my stuff on it and it sells in 30 minutes. Let's go, bro.
Let's talk offline.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love the idea. I love the idea of just taking the Skittle stickers and dropping them in gas
Oh, that's
stations.
happening too, bro.
Yeah, I'm here for all.
I've got
here
a
for all the
whole
guerrilla
strategy of it.
marketing. I like to plan everything. You know how that is. I'm big on like preparation.
I'm Yosemite Sam with it, bro. I'm the 6 shooters.
Yeah,
I'm just asking him for bullets. That's it.
Yeah, like,
Can I get 6 more bullets, bro?
right,
Let's go.
Our dynamic's so funny. I'm just like, all right, like let's the strategic in this and let's place it. Like
Guns a-blazing.
he's guns a blazing.
I'm just fucking
right
from the hip too, bro.
It's
Just
here
fucking.
for balance because, like, to me, like strategy goes a really long way because once people get hip, then they start researching.
For sure.
And I'm here for the people that are here to deep dive into what we do without us having to do any extra.
That last post I just sent on Instagram is a perfect example of what you're talking about. Check
Some
that out.
crispy stuff in here.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Yeah, it's
Harambe goes
hard.
Yeah, bro. Bro, out of all the designs I've done over 300 different designs, and like you were saying earlier, like we're able to take the designs and throw it against the wall and see if it sticks because we got the DTG printer, so we can print in house. But
Take
that
some risks.
Harambe, bro, that's the one that's stuck against the wall 7 years ago and it's not going anywhere.
Because people understand it.
The people understand it,
Yeah.
and even further, I think people have this sense of like empathy and sympathize with what's happened. So they're like, Harambe not only is cool now in the sense of like his legend lives on, but people are like, man,
I gotta go to the bathroom, bro. I'm about to
breaking the seal. Well,
I'll pee right here if you want me to end the podcast.
we're about to wrap it up. But like the thing with the Harambe is that like there's an emotional connection just because it happened here, and people like want to be a part of something, and so people will buy that shirt just because they want to be a part of like this community. It's people are like, I can't live without the shirt.
Dog, when
There it
Harambe
is.
passed,
You can bring it around
after
here, Kevin.
that, they had that giraffe that was trying to get birth forever. I was literally watching live streams waiting for this giraffe to be born. Then that hippo was born.
The hippo, yeah.
Fiona. See, I know.
Yeah, you know.
I'm in tune.
You know,
with it,
and you don't, and you're not living here,
but
right?
I understand.
Right. So like you understand, you totally get it, and it's such a wild dynamic to me.
It's a culture thing.
It's a culture thing. It's a culture that only happens in this area, and like I'm sure every area has their culture builds.
But not everyone has someone to represent it.
Yes,
That's
Harambe
what
represents
you
it.
guys
Exactly, yeah, and the beauty of it, like Ray Maluga, he's
Love
a
Ray.
yeah for sure, and he was a big catalyst with the Harambe originality, and Jay can get into that with how they worked with together. But that's the thing is when you have someone that's pushing something like that, that is
Ray?
that's actually Travion Williams.
Okay.
Travion Williams, yeah, man, he signed that.
Do you want me to sign one? I'm not going to sign this one.
Yeah, we might have another thing we can have you sign afterward. Yeah, the Travion Williams. Yeah,
My favorite hat.
yeah, he came on last year. He was, dude, Travion. I'm gonna give a huge shout out to Travion, man. He bet on himself. He told us right on the podcast he wasn't gonna renew. He was gonna sign. I'm bet on myself. I'm bet on myself, and I'm gonna get that extension. And when I saw on like SportsCenter or everything that Travion Williams got that extension, dude, I'm emotional, man. I was like, dude, he literally said right here on the couch that you're sitting on, he spoke it, and he was like, I'm gonna bet on myself. That's
Good
it.
for him.
Good for him, right? Like,
Yeah.
like there's no. You said earlier uncertainty. They don't have to continue with you next year.
No.
They don't like. And how does that feel? How does that feel? If I'm sure you've had.
It's real.
It's real.
It just gets
How does that
real.
work though? Do they tell you?
No.
Is it just like you just
No.
hear that you're just not on the roster?
So the main thing that I always wanted as an athlete is the coach to keep it 100.
Sure.
If I'm doing bad, tell me I'm doing bad, because if you're telling me I'm doing good and I get cut, you lied.
You lied. You
Right?
lied.
So you just
How often
want
are they-
honesty out of your coach,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So
Okay.
I've only been released or cut one time in my life, and that was versus Cleveland. And that was a tough pill to swallow because it was Cleveland. And when you think about it, that it's Cleveland, I'm going to say that one more time.
Oh.
And
You liked your experience in Cleveland,
I
though,
didn't
did you?
say I didn't like it.
Okay.
But it was Cleveland, and historically
Sure.
they don't win. So now you're blaming me that we didn't win?
Oh,
Like,
okay.
This is a hard thing to
Oh, you're okay. You took it that. You took
Well,
it there.
yeah, like,
okay,
I don't
all
wanna
right.
get cut,
I don't.
and-
but maybe you
it's
didn't.
still the same thing.
Maybe you didn't fit into the current scheme they were going, and maybe they did you a service.
And the funniest thing, which you said that, is because I was playing 4-3. They fired me and everyone that was there because Jimmy Haslam bought the team. And they said, you don't fit the scheme because we're going to a 3-4. And then I went and played in Arizona for 5 years. And
Yes.
at 3-4, I had the best statistics of my career in Arizona.
In Arizona,
So,
you did. Okay, how many years? 4 years?
5.
5 years. 5 years. That's awesome. So, what was your experience like in Arizona?
Scottsdale.
Scottsdale?
Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, yeah.
Amazing time. We were winning.
Yeah.
Reunited with Carson because you guys understand.
Yes.
I
You and Carson close.
We go way.
Yeah, you do.
No. We played each other in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was a freshman.
Oh,
he was a
wow.
senior.
So then, all right. All
What?
right.
Played in the championship game.
Oh, wow.
Me and his brother Jordan were the same year, so we played in like Pop Warner, as you guys call it. We played versus each other, and then so we played here, or from SC, from high school against each other, to SC, to Cincinnati, and then to Arizona.
Oh,
That's
wow.
crazy.
That is crazy. So you and so how is the relationship now in 2024 with you and Carson? Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, he's just enjoying being a parent. His kids, he had twins when I first got here. They were babies and infants, and now they're damn near going to high school. Again,
Yeah.
I'm saying my age. And,
Sure.
You know, he's one of the most down-to-earth people that you would ever expect. Just like if you met Jimmy Burrow and you're like, dude, I met him. He was legit, right? He's a normal guy. Same thing with Carson. Carson is a normal dude,
Normal
but
guy,
when
yeah.
you get a status that everyone looks at, first pick, Heisman, this, that, and the other,
Yeah.
that's a lot of noise. It's real. It's a lot of noise to the core of the person. Like, he's just a legit dude.
Yeah. The noise is made. The noise
Legit
is
dude. Like,
legit dudes. Yeah. The noise is made by the media. The noise is made by us talking on podcasts and
there you
different
go.
things like
Because
that.
you don't know him.
Exactly. You don't know.
So
him.
I do know him, and he's a great dude, great family man.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Great leader. Man, I can't
that.
speak too much. I can't speak enough good of him.
Sure. Yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing that because when Carson went down, I think the city hit. That was a different level of low.
Dude, do you know how many kids were named after him here? You need to research that. When
Oh.
Carson got drafted, everyone started naming their kids Carson. You can look it up. I'm talking about a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know a kid named Carson Palmer.
Oh, is
way.
it?
Kid.
That's
And
funny.
See? That's what I'm saying.
was born after 2003.
No, Carson legit. Carson legit. That's my guy.
So what is your thoughts on and Andy Dalton as well. I like Andy a lot because like
too.
he's a great dude. I did catering for Jason's Deli, and he is a big fan of Jason's Deli. He used to come in the restaurant after they would win.
Big
He would come
sandwich
in.
guy?
Yeah, he likes stuff, the salad bar, everything. He would come in, bring his family in. So I got to know him over time when he would come in after a win on Mondays, and I did catering on the catering end. So like going and taking food places, and there was one time when it was a wintry night and he ordered a bunch of catering to his house, so I got to take catering to Andy Dalton's house, and he like helped me carry the food in, like I've got like these heat bags, and he's like, here, I can take it from you. I was like, I promise I'm good. I'm gonna get in and out real quick. He's like, no, take your time. He's like, would you like to stay with us? I was like,
I would love to.
I gotta go. I was like, I have to get back to the store, but thank you for offering that, Andy Dalton.
Yeah,
like,
just a great dude.
That's a great dude. And then another experience I have, I'm gonna say before we jump off here, but like I was so a long time ago, I got to cater to the Bengals a meeting with M. Lewis and C. Johnson, and so I was like, I went there and I had to meet the receptionist, and they had to take me down to the office, whatever. And I went down there, and she's like, "Yeah, you're in this meeting room." I was like, "All right." So I went down and did everything, and the people were really nice. And I was like, M. Lewis and C. Johnson. I was so confused. So I called my
Were
dad.
you really?
I thought it was Chad. I thought
Really?
You weren't. Stop.
no, I was. I was confused. I was like, why is Chad Johnson? Wasn't Chad Johnson? It was Calvin Johnson.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I called my dad. I was like, "Hey, C. Johnson, like Marvin Lewis," and he's like, "Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool." And later on, SportsCenter, I found out Calvin Johnson was interviewing with people, and I thought it was Chad. I really did. I was in the. I said
cool wasn't it?
I was
Still
so
the experience was
right. It was
dope.
wild. I walked in the meeting room. I put the food up because it's all drop catering. It's just plastic, whatever you put But I was like Marvin Lewis, and this is so cool. I got back and I was like bragging whatever like to the guys, and then I found out Calvin Johnson was interviewing with teams, and I guess the Bengals got a chance to interview him as he was moving from Detroit. And that was a moment with the Bengals. I was like, that's wild to like, because I was just the one person dropping food off,
Yeah.
but. Just the whole
Inside knowledge, bro.
Yeah. I was just. It was a kind of cool experience.
Especially being a sports fan, like that inside knowledge is like, I knew that. Like,
Yeah.
if you would have
yeah.
got drafted like for the next 10 years,
Yeah,
you
picked
would
up,
have been
yeah.
like, I knew that.
I knew.
I knew that for everybody. I saw it
exactly,
coming.
and it was a little moment. I was just like, because I really thought, when you see C. Johnson with Bengals, you see Chad. I
Chad,
thought,
yeah,
why
that's
is
probably what you
why
were
am I-
assuming, right? Yeah,
it
that's
was.
what I was
No,
assuming.
Nope, it was Megatron. Actually, it was.
Great guy, by the way.
Yeah.
Had a chance to meet him this summer doing a cannabis event in Vegas. Great guy.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I
really-
do a big cannabis event called Executive Sessions, and it was like all the guys across different leagues and stuff that are in the cannabis industry around marijuana business comm in Vegas, and I did my own event, and so we could talk about how to get better deals on jars and this, that, and the other, and how
Oh,
to
that's
work
so
together
cool.
and get things like that, and
That's
move
awesome.
this thing down the field, and questions for licenses, and I got this issue or this came up, so we can roundtable and talk about it.
That's
That is
dope.
So
I
cool.
do things like that.
That is so cool.
It's not on camera.
It's not on camera, but it's.
But I
it's,
do
it's-
things like that.
Yeah, like that. But that's in you putting yourself in spaces that you would never expect. You know what I mean? And like that's being creative in your journey. And I think that's really cool. Like
The dopest guy is Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams.
dude.
Oh man,
his brand is Heisman.
dude. Ricky
Come on.
Williams, bro.
They don't get no better than that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Ricky Williams. So how'd you get
Don't we
introduced
got to
to
cut this out?
Yeah, we do.
No,
Whenever you want,
I'm gonna
bro.
come back.
Oh,
I'm
man.
gonna come back. We can't.
Look, this
Yeah.
is
This can go all night.
This is on your time, bro. Like
yeah, I got a bedtime. So.
That's fair.
you've got
Yeah.
you got a birthday
But I
to
want
get
you
ready
to
for.
enjoy Father's Day, man. It's gonna be a great time. I'm excited to expend it. Tyrell's gonna help me out with that, and I'm gonna be able to take some Sunday off.
Tyrone,
and-
right?
Tyrell Cobb, yeah,
Really
man.
well. Okay.
Tyrell, yeah, Cobb. We got Kevin Clancy in the crowd
see
here.
Big Kev out here.
Yeah, man, we're out
Coach.
here. Yeah, man.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Yeah. We out here, a squad. We're out doing our thing here. But we really appreciate you, man. Just taking your time and just giving your insights. Because at the end of the day, like, we're all doing this thing called life, and we all have different journeys. We have different starting points, and your perspective is something that's coveted because like we are in the thick of things here. We're trying to push this brand and push the store and try to get people to tell us tell us what they think of the store, and you're out there seeing the world in your own right, and you gave a lot of compliments to us about the store, and
This is awesome.
very appreciated.
We appreciate
yeah,
that.
man.
Appreciate
sure,
it.
man.
The
Yeah,
only
man.
last question I have for both of you.
Oh shit!
Can I get this ticket validated? My
Yeah,
party
we got
ticket?
you.
We can make that happen.
Straight up.
Validated,
I'm just
yeah.
messing with you.
No, we got you, bro.
I
We got
appreciate
you.
you fellas, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. So if anybody wants to get a hold of Frostee Rucker, you just go to Instagram. It's The Organic Frost.
Yes,
And are you still in the cannabis industry? I know. So it sounded like you had two.
Yeah, I'm an investor in a couple different spots, in Ohio and Washington.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to real quick?
Well, you got to say a shout out to King City Gardens, my investment here in Ohio.
Oh, bro, I didn't see. I didn't realize you were part of the
Because
investment
I
there.
don't need to be on TV.
Right, but that's incredible because that's being a part of the Ohio push is huge, man. Especially with it going. See now I realize why he's so happy about it going recreational within the next couple days, bro.
Well, what makes me really happy is because where I started it from going to my agent's office and starting the whole
6 shooters out of this. You didn't know what was
left
going
Colorado and came to his office like, look, dude, it's going in Colorado and Ohio needs it. And we, in that office right here on Walnut Street at the Scripps building, we created the Responsible Ohio and ran a campaign. So, and look at where it's at. So that's what I like to, hang my hat
Absolutely, man. Hang your hat high on that, bro, because
sir.
that's something that a lot of people need, especially me. I told you I was against it. I thought it was, I broke up with girlfriends over it because I was lied to. I was told that it's a gateway drug, that it's just going to lead you to other things. Little did I know that it literally helps me in my day to day. It helps me cope with things. It helps my eye pressure. It helps with headaches. And it helps me apologize to the lady on the Cincinnati Bell. If I'm calling on a late bill, like if I'm on the phone, I'm arguing, and if I smoke afterwards, like I feel the necessity to call her back and apologize because that's not me. You know what I mean? Like, but that's what weed does.
That's what it does for you,
Weed makes you mortal. It doesn't make you immortal. It makes you grip the steering wheel. It makes you realize that you're very vulnerable.
And I'm glad your cannabis journey is uplifting, and that's what you're experiencing.
Yeah,
Because
bro.
A lot of people have experienced it and been shunned, been locked up for it,
Right.
and it's not right.
100%. It's not right.
So I stand on the side of expungements. I stand on the side of getting people licenses and have a seat at the table for something that they've been passionate about and done it their own way. And it may not have been the right way, quote unquote, but it was their way. And if you know the plant the way you do, and now you're a believer, you understand it.
For sure. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't be a Rick Simpson without having the negativity, right?
Right.
Like it was Rick Simpson, right? That's the guy that does
Rick or
all
Bart, I don't know which
It's
one.
it's I think it's Rick Simpson. Yeah.
I would say a lot of our dynamic and our the lab and everything came from thoughts that came when we were
Stoned.
we were stoned. We were partaking in it, and at the end of the day, like it creates I come from a lot of business mentality on most anything because I understand that money makes the world go round and you got to turn the lights on. But I also in the field of helping artists make money doing art, which is what
You're passionate about.
yeah.
You've been doing.
We're
yeah.
here now. We've made it, which is incredible. But the fact that cannabis can help elevate my own personal creativity is wild to think that it's an external thing that's creating an open door. And that to me is what blows my mind because it doesn't have to exist at all and that open door wouldn't even be open. But
Right.
the fact that it happens and all of a sudden that as soon as it hits my brain, all of a sudden my brain goes, all right, well, how can I get creative with this? Without even meaning to go that way. It just happens. And I don't get that anxiety. I mean, anxiety happens on occasion, I guess you could say. But like really my brain goes creative and business takes a back seat.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a fascinating dynamic, you know?
Dude, to bring it back to what you guys were talking about earlier about the analysts and the people that do the back end work that no one gets credit for, what do you think, like, in the next 5 years, like, once weed goes recreational in Ohio, like, the creativity of the next generation? You know what I mean? Like
Oh wow.
They're
like
gonna get
that's
ill with
bec-
it.
because
They're gonna
because
be
because
ill.
I'm
They
like
got YouTube from the beginning.
I'm a
bro.
I'm
Yeah.
a prime example of somebody that exploded once marijuana was introduced to my brain, because I was against it all my life, bro.
Me
Like
too.
even when we met in Tropicana, I hated it. Didn't do it.
Crazy.
Hung out with Jubal all the time. Didn't do it. Like, you know, he didn't care about it. I was just, and then that was just me going, I don't want to put any smoke in my lungs. You know what I mean? That's just like, I'm cool to be around it. I don't care. Like, but that's
Do
just
you.
not me.
It's just not
Yeah.
me,
But
yeah.
then all of a sudden the doctor was like, it might help you. And it really did. So it really changed my life on it. But once I started smoking, that's when like the square box just disappeared. And then my designs went from, you can design everything here
Yeah.
to, why don't you design over here and around the sides, and you know, so then like my creativity got, and that's a crude way to explain it, but like my thought process was just broken as soon as I started like you know, going into cannabis. It just became one of those things where like, I can do this, I can do that. How do I do that? I can figure this out. And so YouTube University became my best friend. I just hopped on there. Like if I wanted to work on the car, YouTube, figure it out. Boom, go out there and get it done. All of this right here I learned on YouTube. Every single camera here was done on YouTube. These microphones I learned on YouTube. The DTG printer that sits behind the register that prints every single T-shirt, all 300 designs that we've created here at the store. It's all been done within the past 4 years because of cannabis, honestly. Just to be honest with
literally
you.
when there's a problem with the DTG, I'm like, and then it's a serious problem. Like, all right, I'm going to YouTube. I have no reason to like text anybody. Like, why even reach out to like, say Jay? Like, I don't even think of oh, I need Jay's help or whatever. I don't think I've ever thought that. I'm like, I'm YouTube. I'm just gonna go there and figure it out because I know YouTube's gonna tell me how to do it in a visual sense. And if I can see
in a visual sense, which is the best part.
if I can see what they're doing, I'm like, oh, I can clean this caps. And then I learned that, and I was like, oh, I can do that. Like, we have the tools. We set aside everything that we need for it. But like, they're just telling you what to do, and they have no skin in your game.
Yeah.
They're just putting it out there, and they're being transparent. And I think that angle of education is something like we were talking earlier. Like, you have the education, you can teach people. I mean, you've forgotten more football than most people have ever gained. You know what I mean? So like, with that mentality, like, you have that, you could do your own YouTube series. I'm sure there's room at the table that you could do so many things. But like, YouTube really allows, like, if you have something with your car issue, look at YouTube. If you have something you need to edit a video and you need to figure out how to edit your content, you don't have to be a computer savvy guy.
YouTube,
just YouTube it, get it really done, and get all your content pieces, content plan, drop them, and then that you can go back to woodworking or whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter, but it allows, like,
It's a tool.
It's a tool, and people use it as entertainment, but I really use it as YouTube University, just like he does.
Good.
And we're here, but what you can't train is the physical ability to do stuff, and you physically, Dusty, are someone I feel like you could be a YouTube University for football in yourself, and you're also an inspiration on a lot of fronts. And that's what Travion Williams, earlier we talked, like, he's helping people, you're helping people. So, like, I would say the Bengals organization has done a great job of choosing humans.
Yeah, they do.
To, you know what I mean?
Very good
You know what I
call.
mean? They're
Carson,
yeah, they've done
Andy, they're very good at connecting with the human connection,
Yeah.
not just the dollars.
right, choosing the right people for the positions. So, if anything, give them, kudos for
I
you.
give them, they drafted me. I'm very blessed. So nothing bad to say. It's just experience.
Yeah, draft day. I bet you that was amazing, though. I could always go back to that.
We're gonna have to run this
We
episode.
could do a volume 2, part 2. Let's get
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
All right, dude. Frostee
Yeah.
Rucker in the building,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Dude, thank you so much for being a part of this. I love you, dude. River Green Cocktails, appreciate you. We're gonna be sending home. There he is. There, check it out.
Hold it up there, my friend. Or I'll get a
Frost
picture.
With that cold gin
Hold up, one more
cocktail.
time. One more time. I'll get a quick picture for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
All right, man. So if you want to be a part of the podcast, comment below or contact one of us. River Green Cocktails, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. I've only had 2 of these, and I'm stumbling over my words.
I really like this bee's knees. I'm about to take another.
when they talk about 2 cocktails per can, they're not joking for sure. So got him. Yeah. All right, man. I got to get this guy out of the parking garage. So love you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday on another episode of the PowWow. Next Tuesday we've got Studio Row Murder Mystery Dinners. This lady brings in mystery dinners in Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati where you're a part of it. You come in, sit down. You're a part of the dinner, and you may be the killer. You might get murdered in the not physically. I probably shouldn't have said that on YouTube.
You're gonna get mystery murdered.
Yeah,
In a place.
Anyways, tune in next Tuesday to find out more about it. Ro's going to be in the building, so we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Tyrell, Kevin.
Dude,
I don't know why I always want to say Kyle, bro. I always want to say Kyle.
Kevin Clancy.
Clancy. All right, dude, Clancy.
He's out there. He's out there. Shout out, Kevin. Let's see what. Pick him up. Assistant coach basketball. Let's get it.
Yeah, bro. All right, we'll see you next Tuesday. We're out of here.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Dusty.
Dude, Frost, love you, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you. And we out.
That's how you do a plug, Andrew.
Hey, we're out here. Let's go.
All right, that was